Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Uprise post-game show. I know that the game is still going on, but I figured I'd start up the stream just a little bit early. We got the Blazers up 30 right now. Mario just threw down a dunk. So I'm going to watch the rest of this game. I got it going right here. And then we can talk about this game. I just wanted to let you guys filter in early. I won't be able to see chat right away because I usually watch the stream on my phone. We still got the game going on. My stream's probably a little bit behind your guys's, but figured I'd start it up just a little bit early, let you guys filter in. What's going on, everybody? It's nice for the Blazers to get a game like this. It's nice for them to play a bottom feeder at home. Now, I haven't watched the whole game, so we'll have Eric join after this game is over to fill me in on some things. It looked like Nasir Little got ball there. But I'll have Eric fill me in on things. I watched like half of the first quarter and then the whole fourth quarter. But I had a rec league game, which was brutal. It was a brutal game. So we'll have Eric fill me in and we can talk about some things. But obviously Portland played well. Defended well. I don't know how much of that is a product of the Knicks being bad and how much of that is us defending well. But we'll get Eric's opinion on that. But I'm the type of fan to watch things all the way through. Watch games all the way through. I don't care if we're up 30. I like watching Horde play. Horde had a really nice up and under move. That was a smooth veteran move by Horde. So right now we got a minute left. It's nice to see Anthony finally have a good game. Kind of break out of his slump. 4 for 6 from 3. Oh no, Blazers might not win by 30. As far as trade stuff too, we'll get into trade stuff on our podcast, the Kevin Love and Gallinari stuff. Make sure to join in for our podcast, which goes live around 4 p.m. Tolliver hit a 3. Congrats to Anthony Tolliver for knocking down a 3. But yeah, me and Eric will cover the trade stuff, the Kevin Love, Danilo Gallinari rumors. Trade rumors are starting to percolate, and they involve the Portland Trailblazers. So me and Eric will cover that in depth on our podcast tomorrow. Make sure to join us live. If not, you guys can always watch our podcast after the fact to hear our thoughts. So this game's wrapping up. I'm gonna listen to the interview, and then I'll pull up the stream. I'll read off your guys' chats because I haven't been able to do so yet. If I pull up the chats on my computer will start to die. I also need to plug in my computer. We got Carmelo finishing strong against his old team, hitting a couple threes. That was good to see. We'll see who they grab here for the interview. Before they interview, you guys got to check out the Players Tribune piece that Damian Lillard dropped. It was written by Damian Lillard, and it was a very good read. It was kind of about his upbringing and his loyalty to his AAU team in high school, loyalty to his college, loyalty to Portland. It's a really, really good read. For a Blazer fan, and even for an NBA fan, even for a human being, for anybody, it's a good read. Nigger's got that crazy hair. I wonder if Nurkic is going to cut his hair when he comes back, or if that's like his thing now. Bro, it's taken forever to get to this interview, man. Alright, I want to hear what Dame says. So I'm going to be silent for a little bit. Then we can get things going with this post-game stream. Hmm. I would play it out loud, but I don't want to deal with a copyright issue. But it's interesting hearing Dame talk about how they've eased into games. I'll kind of talk about what he said here. He said Hassan did a good job setting screens. He said emphasis that they get higher quality looks. That's been an area of complaint for me. Um, Sounds like he kind of sees the same thing. It's interesting. I'll talk about this. This is an interesting post game show or post game interview. Alrighty. Um, so it was interesting to hear Dame talk about how they wanted to get higher quality looks because in almost every loss in the post game press conference, Terry Stotts has talked about, oh, we got good looks, shots just didn't fall. But that isn't really what Dame just said. Dame just said they wanted to get higher quality looks, which means points in the paint, that type of thing. Now, Eric will be here in 15 minutes, and I'll kind of we'll go more deep. We'll go, I'm not starting off this post-game stream well. Got to find my words. We'll go into more depth on our on this game since I did miss a good portion of the game because I had a rec league game. These Tuesday, Thursday games are tough, but I don't know. I need to look and see how many points in the paint they got because I'm curious how many shots they shot. Dame shot 8 for 12 from the 3-point line. Blazers shot well from the 3-point line. Only had 34 points in the paint. So I guess they didn't really attack the rim, but they did get to the free throw line 24 times. Only 26 free throws for the Knicks. Free throw disparity has been a big problem. Do you guys think the Blazers were aggressive attacking the rim tonight? Because that's something that I've wanted to see them do more of. I wanted to see them be more aggressive attacking the rim. Don't just settle for jump shots. If the jump shots are falling, then fine, like shoot those shots. Shoot those open threes. But when they're not falling, I want them to attack. That was the problem with the OKC. Jumpers weren't falling, but they were shooting too many of them. They weren't attacking. This game, jumpers fell. They shot over 40% from the 3-point line. Almost shot as well from the 3-point line as they did inside the arc. But that's the thing. When you attack, you'll get to the free throw line more. You'll put the other team in foul trouble more. It's just like I just wanted more of a balance. And I wanted the team to attack a little bit more when jump shots weren't falling. But tonight, jump shots were not a problem because they shot great. So what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody tuning in just now. Started it a little bit early because why not? We were up 30 points, so there's literally no reason why not. And there's no reason to not start this stream early. Had one or two people say, why are you starting the stream already? There's still a minute left. I posted a poll on Twitter. I had 5 votes for started early, 3 votes for no, so I started it early. Nurk could return this season. Rumor Nurk is going to return this season. I don't know why people don't think he is. CJ is worthless when he's not hitting his jumpers. When he's not hitting jumpers, he still helps space the floor for Dame. He's still known as a threat, so he's still able to make things easier just because of his presence on the offensive end. And a lot of times he still requires a good defender to guard him in order to make him not get going and not hit jump shots because the dude is a good shooter. Why is everybody hating on CJ? We just won by 30 points. I'm confused right now. CJ didn't have a good game, 5 for 14 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3, so he didn't shoot the ball well, but I don't understand why we're harping on CJ. We just won by 28 points. Blazers has struggled the last couple games. Let's enjoy this 30-point win because that was a really tough loss to the Lakers because it's the Lakers. It was at home. We lost Rodney Hood. That was a really tough loss to the Thunder because that's a team we should have beaten. That's a team I think we are better than. So let's enjoy the fact that we got the Knicks on the schedule tonight, and we were able to beat up on this horrible team. That team is bad, man. That team's so bad. That team's the worst team in the league. 4-20. Like we had to win this game, and I'm glad we won by 30 points because only one player played over 30 minutes. That's CJ with 31. Dame played 29 minutes. Whiteside played 26. Melo played 25. Bazemore played 22. We got 23 minutes for Hazonia. 29 minutes for Simons. Like, we played some bench guys some more minutes than they're accustomed to, and we got some rest for our starters. So I thought overall this was exactly what we needed. We needed a get-right game. As far as the Kevin Love stuff, that was interesting to see today. As I said, I'll go into depth on that, but we could maybe cover it on the surface a little bit later. On our podcast tomorrow, me and Eric will go over like possible trade packages and like what we think of the rumor, that type of thing. But it is interesting hearing that a player wants to go to Portland. A big name player wants to go to Portland. Of course, Kevin Love, who grew up here, so he has ties to this area. That was just interesting to see today. Bobby Portis to Portland. I'm not a Bobby Portis fan, honestly. I don't think he's better than Scal. 4-20, you know what that means? Weed. Stay off the weed. Bobby Portis rumored to Portland. Where have you seen that? If you guys see, I keep seeing things like so and so rumored to Portland, so and so rumored to Portland. I've seen a ton of that today. Provide a link. If you say so and so is rumored to Portland, provide like where you're getting that information from. And also, just want to freshen up on this. I don't want to talk trades. I want to talk about this game, but we're kind of waiting for Eric since I think he was at the game, so I want to get his thoughts on it since I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. But difference between a rumor and a trade suggestion, we got to keep that in mind as these trade talks start popping up because there will be articles suggesting a trade, and then there will be another media platform that will say like Bobby Portis rumored to Portland, and their source will be a Bleacher Report article where some writer just threw out a trade idea with Bobby Portis going to Portland. That's not a rumor. That's just a trade idea. A rumor is something like we heard from, God, I forget the guy's name, but he was like a trusted NBA source saying multiple sources say Kevin Love wants to play for the Portland Trailblazers. That's a legit rumor. So just in terms of the way we call these things as talks start to pick up, gotta know the difference between a rumor and a trade suggestion. Tori's postgame show is the bomb. Thank you, Ryan Birchfield. Tori, talk about Scal on the floor with Hassan. Was Scal on the floor with Hassan? As I said, I missed like the middle part of this game. I had a rec league game. Airbud rumored to Portland. Did Scal actually play with Hassan? That's something that I've been down for a while. Multiple sauces. Kevin O'Connor. Thank you, Jake Carey. Yeah, it was Kevin O'Connor that provided that rumor, and that's a legit rumor. So we got to be careful how we term things because I keep seeing so and so rumored to Portland, and I'm not sure if it's actually from a trusted NBA source or if it's just a trade suggestion. But if you guys are gonna say so and so rumored to Portland, I'd appreciate it if you guys give me the link so I could check up on that quickly on the stream because I don't really got time to look for it. Knicks front office was in the stadium tonight, but all that could mean is that they are evaluating their own players and not necessarily ours. I don't know why the Knicks would come completely across the country to go to a Blazer game when their team's 4-20. That's kind of interesting. Like I said, we got a lot of Kevin Love talk right after this game. I know this was kind of like it was a good game, but it was kind of boring. It seems like winning again by 30. There was no drama. Team played like how they should. Like I said, we'll get Eric Brandt's thoughts on this. since he watched the entire thing. We'll see what he has to say. But yeah, me and him will go in depth on that, on the Kevin Love and Danilo Gallinari stuff that came out today. The sniper Torrey Jones rumored to the New York Knicks. I lost my rec league today, man. It wasn't my fault, though. Other than me, man, my rec league team shot probably 1 for 25 from 3. It was a rough shooting night for guys, and we lost by 3, and it was tough. Allowance Jeremy Lin to Portland. Yeah, see, we just got a bunch of trade talk. We got a bunch of stuff like that. Let me know what you guys thought of the game tonight. Let me know what you guys interpreted. Let me know how you guys think the Blazers played, what you guys liked, maybe something you didn't like, even though it was a 30-point win. Let me know what your guys' thoughts were on the game, and I'll read them on air. And we'll do it like that until we can get Eric home, because he's driving home, I think. Maybe he wasn't at the game. He said he was going to be home minutes after, or like 20, 25 minutes after the game. So I don't know if that meant he was at the game. I kind of assumed he was at the game, but I'm not sure. I'm going to tell him to call me right when he gets here. I got to pull up Skype. This might lag just a little bit, but I want him to call me right when he pops in here. My computer does not want to cooperate with me right now. Old Jacob Howes. God, I don't know how to say your last name, man. He donated 20 NOK. I don't know exactly what NOK currency is, but shout out to the 20. I don't even want to say dollar because it's not a dollar. Shout out to the 20 donation from old is it Jakob or Jacob? Because I know foreign when it's spelled like that. It's Jakob. I want to get your name right, especially for the donation. But anyway, he says, thanks for all the work you do. Thanks for all the work you do for us. Keep it up. Appreciate it, man. If I get $100 in donations on a stream, I'll drop a rap song. That's something that I'm doing, man. If I get $100 in donations on a stream, I will drop a rap song. Now, $100 in donations is like twice as much as I've ever gotten. It's a lot. But that's because I don't really want to drop a rap song. I'm not a rapper. I'd probably embarrass myself. But if I get $100 in donations on a stream, I will actually try to make a good rap song. And I'll drop it. And I'll push it. And in my personal life, I'll get people that play it at me, and it'll be bad. I'm hoping it doesn't, like, I don't want people from my rec league to know, if that happens. But if you guys want to see that happen, if you guys want to see me embarrass myself on a track, Norwegian Kroners, gotcha. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man. In your opinion, Blake or Love? Blake's kind of souring on me a little bit. I did post a whole trade scenario on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I'm almost at 500 followers. Make sure to follow me at TorreyJonesYT. Right now I'm at... Oh, did I lose 3 followers? The hell just happened? I guess I lost 3 followers in the last... Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, I'm at 496. So if you guys want to help me get to 500, if you don't already follow me, make sure to do that. Just waiting for Eric to get home because he has to fill me in on this. And that's why it's nice having a 2-man post-game show team for games where I can't catch the whole thing. It's nice to have Eric be able to fill me in, give his thoughts on things where I can't. You gotta drop a diss track on Eric though. Oh my goodness, that'd be epic, man. Whole Knicks were tough to watch. They're terrible. Yeah, they're very young, man. RJ Barrett is not a good player. He puts up points, but he's not efficient. Kevin Knox still needs time. They just don't. Who's their best player? Who's the Knicks' best player? Mitchell Robinson, probably. Dude's in his second year and was a second-round pick a couple years ago. That's their best player. And he's a solid player, but when that's your best player, you know your team's bad. Tori, what's Ubre's value in a trade if he was a target? He just resigned there for 2 years. I don't think the Suns would want to give him up unless they were getting a guy like a Kevin Love. So there is no trade that really makes sense for Kelly Oubre. I don't see how we could put together a package for him that would make sense. Because I don't think they'd do something like Oubre for Bazemore, Mario, and a first-round pick. We wouldn't have to attach Mario and Tolliver to that. Oubre for Bazemore and a pick could be something, but I think they want to get better. So I don't think they want to trade Oubre and downgrade that to Bazemore just to get a pick. I think they're kind of in the position where they finally want to make a playoff run. What's up, Robbie Stackhouse? We need to play for better defense and offensive players. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I should have known this was going to be a bunch of trade talk with all the talk that went around today, and then we play the New York freaking Knicks and blow the doors off them. It was good to beat these guys, but I guess we can cover some NBA action. I'll go over the scores from today. I don't believe there was many games, and we can do that before Eric gets here. Oh, I forgot to turn off the... Okay, whoops. There we go. I forgot to turn that off. Yeah, let's go over some scores. Because I haven't tuned into the NBA at all today. Yeah, we only had 4 games. Blazers won. Hornets beat the Wizards 114-107. Davis Bertans had 32 off the bench for the Wizards. That could be a Blazer target at some point. You could maybe see something like Whiteside for Mahimi and Bertans or something like that. My guy Rui Hachimura had 18. But they ended up losing. Devontae Graham had 29 points. I think that's the leading candidate for most improved player right there. Devontae Graham has been killing it. The Hornets are 10-16. Hornets have been better than I thought they'd be. 76ers beat the Nuggets, which is good to see. Nuggets are 14-8. I'm not saying that we can catch the Nuggets, but we have 3 games left against them. If we're able to improve, fix some issues, I wouldn't say it's completely out of the question, and having an Eastern Conference team beat them is always good. Just because it hurts their record, it gives us a little bit more of a chance, even though it is small, of passing them up in the standings at the end of the year. Will Barton, former Blazer, had 26, but Jamal Murray ended up playing only 5 minutes, so I assume he got hurt. Jamal Murray left the game with a trunk contusion. What is a trunk contusion? Can somebody please explain to me what a trunk contusion is? What is your trunk? I've never heard that before. Oh, my phone's going to play ads out loud. The Heat beat the Hawks in overtime. Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, and Kendrick Nunn combined for 100 points for the Heat. There's a guy in my rec league that pointed this out. Nunn had 36. Duncan Robinson had 34. Bam Adebayo had 30 with 11 boards and 11 assists, so a triple-double for him. Jimmy Butler also had a triple-double with 20 points, 18 rebounds, and 10 assists. So there's some crazy stats from that game. DeAndre Hunter had a breakout game. He's a rookie. 4th overall pick in last year's draft for the Hawks. He had 28 points on 11 for 17 shooting, 5 for 10 from the three-point line in 40 minutes. Trae Young didn't have one of his typical games, only dropped 21. Still solid scoring output, but he's been averaging around 28, 29 points per game. Alan Crabb, former Blazer, with 7 off the bench. Vince Carter, I think he's 42, 43 right now. I lose track of his age because that man's old, but he had a solid 12 off the bench as well. But the Heat, 18-6. With as many big stat lines as they had, then you just look at Myers Leonard, 4 points, 12 minutes, 2 for 4 shooting, 0 for 2 from the three-point line. Every other member of the starting lineup had at least 20 points. 3 of them had 30 points. 2 of them had triple-doubles. And then you got Myers with 4 points. 3 rebounds. Whiteside's better than Myers. I can't believe some people still argue that Myers would be better for this team. So I told Eric to call me when he gets home. He's taking his sweet time. So anyway, that was the scores from tonight. Not many games to go over. Um, Worst game of Tyler Harrow's career, says Jake Carey. I know Jake Carey is a big Tyler Harrow fan. He's been right. You've been right on that. You've been right on Tyler Harrow, man. Harrow. I forget exactly how you say it, but he's looked nice. You've been right on him. But yeah, he's 0 for 6, no points in 23 minutes. I'm giving you props on him. I'm giving you props for that because gotta rip you for the Grant Williams thing a little bit. Grant Williams is like 0 for 25 from 3 right now. I know you're high on him too. You're right more often than not, but I think we were a little bit. I think we were right on Grant Williams there. He's been struggling. Melo Stay says, I did not like how Melo is not playing with the same energy he had before his contract was guaranteed. I don't know. As I said, I didn't get to watch the whole game. So there's some things I'd normally like have like a super long, elaborate response on that, but from what I have seen of him, it doesn't seem like his energy is that far down. It could just be a product of him not being fully in basketball shape. So I do got to check. It looks like the syncing has changed on my voice and in my camera. Is everything synced up for you guys? Let me know. Usually I rely on you guys to help me make sure the stream is running smoothly and everything is synced up. What were your thoughts on... This is something good to talk about. Bielitsa. Zippo the Hippo says, what were your thoughts on the Bielitsa game winner and Westbrook's attitude? That was funny, man. So, for those of you guys who didn't see the end of the Rockets-Kings game, I think it was yesterday, Westbrook, did he hit a layup? Westbrook scored. It might have been a jumper. I don't know. Westbrook scored to send the Rockets up 2 with a second left in the game, and Kings called timeout to advance the ball. Definitely not synced. All right, let me toy around with this a little bit then before I go in on this Bielitsa thing. Is that better? Things are a little bit laggy on my end. I don't know why. It's not some. It's giving me more issues than a layup. I saw it the first time Melo stay. But yeah. Westbrook hit a layup with 1 second left, and said game over while they were going to the timeout huddle because the Kings called timeout. Westbrook was saying game over, game over. Then Nemanja Bjelica gets an inbounds about 30 feet from the rim. He turns, fires up a 3 in time, knocks it down. That was beautiful justice. That was karma for Russell Westbrook saying game over, game over. Bjelica said, no, it's not. I'm going to pull from 30. I'm going to pull from Dame range. It's Bielitsa time. And he knocked down the game-winning 3 in Houston. That was awesome to see, man. Don't be saying game over with a second left and then lose the game. It makes you look like a clown, Westbrook. That was that was funny, man. I'm gonna listen to my own voice on my phone with headphones in just to make sure. Alright, yeah, it is not, it definitely isn't synced. I gotta figure this out. But hopefully we can get Eric in here and start. Okay, I got delayed. Why it's giving me trouble. It seemed like it was synced up to start. Alright, hopefully that's better. Old Jakob Hausch. I feel like I'm butchering your name every time. Yes, I do play Rocket League on PS4, and I'm Champ 1 as well. I wonder if I've played against you then. But you probably play EU servers, huh? Alright, gotta adjust the audio a little bit more. We're getting closer here. We're almost here. The synchronization, which doesn't usually happen. Okay, Eric was calling me. I'm gonna call Eric back. Nope. This is so scuffed. Yeah, hopefully it's synced. Hopefully it's synced, man. I don't know why I'm getting troubles. As I upgrade my equipment in the future, which I will do, this won't be a problem. You know what I mean? We're still in our infancy, but we'll improve this for you guys. Abe Bomi says kind of playing Rocket League right now. Yeah, guys, I don't know why it's laggy. It's not like the typical lag I deal with. It's not internet lag. It's something with my end of the, I don't know, it's my computer struggling. I can hear myself, Eric, by the way. I just got in a call with Eric. I can hear myself pretty loud. Oh, I had my stream going on my end. That wasn't you. Alrighty.
Name brand bars and body washes.
I literally just unmuted you for whatever that ad was. What was that? Was that like a soap ad?
It was whatever came on when I brought the YouTube channel up, yeah.
Okay.
What's up, man?
What's up? So I'm dealing with issues on my stream here. If it's out of sync, it's out of sync. It's whatever.
I've been listening.
Yeah, it's lagging on my end, man. I don't know why. It's rough. But we got Eric in here now. They can hear you. I don't know why he's saying, Eric, where you at?
I tried calling you a couple times, but
yeah, I was trying to sort out my stream. It's just like it's lagging on my end. I don't know why.
Yeah, Fish is here. People are saying it works fine now. What's up, everybody?
Is it synced now? Did we hit the jackpot? If we got it, then dope. And hopefully it won't give any more problems. Hopefully we're good to go. I'm gonna lower my camera a little bit. It's a little high. But anyway, I gotta have you fill in the game. Did you go to the game?
No, I was at work.
Gotcha.
So I thought you said you were going to be like a few minutes after the game started.
No, my game was at 7:30, so I got off 8:30.
So I was like, "There's 3 minutes left in the game. I'm gonna like finish up at work and go home instead of just stay there and do it from there." So yeah, it took me like 2 minutes to get home. And then I tried to sign on to my new computer, but for some reason Skype's not recognizing the microphone or the whatever. So I was just like, screw it. I'll just load up my old computer.
We'll sort that out. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get that sorted out for you.
Russell Westbrook, my 7-year-old son, is obsessed with Pokemon.
Oh, there's the internet lag.
Pretty funny to him.
There's the internet lag. We're dealing with multiple different types of lag. Okay. Yeah, we're talking Rocket League and Pokemon because this was a 30-point blowout. I want to get your thoughts on the game because I played at 7:30, so I missed a good portion of the game. I knew we were up at like 15 at halftime. Then I walked out of the lobby of my gym. They have like a big screen TV in their lobby, like a huge TV, like projector, and saw that we were up 86-59. So that was nice to see. It was nice to see us absolutely destroying a team.
Right.
But I don't really know how it happened. Like, did we actually play good defense? Is it the Knicks being just the New York Knicks and being the worst franchise in the NBA right now?
It was a little of both. The Knicks are terrible. They got up like 7-2, and I was like, oh, great, here we go again. And then Dame just started hitting massive amounts of three-pointers, which was nice to see. And then, yeah, we kind of kept like a 5 to 7 point lead through most of the first quarter, and then blew it up in the second quarter with a lineup that featured Scal playing power forward.
Finally, Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
somebody say that in the chat, man, and finally Stotts went with a Scal Hassan front court.
Yeah. So he had a lineup. It was Dame, Trent, Scal, Whiteside, and I forget who the third person
The
was.
small forward.
Bazemore, maybe.
Little or Hazonia, or do you guys
I
know
don't
who
think
that?
I don't think it was Hazonia. I think it was like another guard. It might have been Simons.
Okay, see,
Uh,
that would make sense because I feel like with Scal there at power forward, you wouldn't want like a non-shooter at small forward. I feel like Stotts wouldn't do that if you're going to go big in the front court. So
yeah.
Simon's Bazemore and Dame seems to make sense with Labissiere.
No, it was Dame and Trent and one other
Oh,
person.
Trent, yeah,
Yeah.
Trent and
Trent,
three perimeter players like that makes sense.
Trent's shot was off from missing games, but I like his spacing and his defensive awareness. At least how it's developing. Obviously, he needs to start making shots consistently, which he was doing before he got hurt. But yeah, that lineup, we had a play where it looked like Scal and Whiteside were basically fighting each other over offensive rebounds, and it was good to see us dominating the boards for a little bit.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes me mad because I've seen this in past years where I wanted Collins to play with Nurkic a little bit, and you very rarely see it, and then you see it for like a minute or two at a time, and it seems to be working really well, and then you don't see it again the rest of the season, you know? So I understand why Scal isn't really playing much for because of the situation with the lack of bigs, but it would be nice to see it for a few minutes at a time at least, especially in games where we're getting killed on the boards. Yeah. And obviously tonight was a good night to experiment with lineups, but yeah, I definitely want to see more of it.
Yeah, it might be the move when Nurkic gets back if we have like another backup center, whether it's Whiteside or like a guy we bring in. It might make sense to play Scal at some power forward, depending on what our options are at that position. Depending on how things go, I feel like playing him a little bit at power forward would make him ready for that transition if it needs to happen. And I also don't feel like it hurts the team because I feel like Scal is just as capable of playing power forward as he is center. I would like to see him shoot more. It would make more sense for him to play power forward if he utilized that sweet stroke he has a little bit more. He doesn't shoot enough jump shots. You look at Bazemore, how many threes he shoots, guys like that. I don't think Scal is a worse shooter than Bazemore, but Scal turns down a lot of open threes. So it'll be interesting to see if that's something that happens again. It is cool that he did do that because that's something that I would have been on board with experimenting with all season long, especially during stretches where we're just absolutely getting killed on the boards because we've had stretches where we literally can't grab a rebound to save our lives. But
see, if Scal was playing center with like a normal power forward, I think it would be fine. But I don't like him as the only big in the game and having to get all the rebounds, you know, or like take it upon himself to improve our defensive rebounding when like Hazonia is playing the 4 or something, you know?
Yeah, he's kind of like a combo big, so to say. Like he's a little bit undersized for a center in terms of like strength and size and in terms of how he is on the boards. Like he's a solid rebounder, but yeah, as the only big in there playing next to like a combo forward, like a Little or like a Hazonia, I don't like that either.
And then from the Knicks point of view, man, I'm just baffled by that organization. They're so dumb.
Hey,
and then,
Jake Carey says, who's JDC? He says plus 12 in less than 3 minutes with that lineup. Yeah, that's good. That's great.
But we need more sample size probably.
Yeah, definitely against like a more legit team too. But I mean that's as promising as it gets in a small sample. But New York Knicks, man, go on your little mini rant about them because I hear you started to rev up on how bad that organization is.
Well, like I heard you talking earlier about who the best player on their team is, and I really like Mitchell Robinson. I think they should develop him, but he's not even starting. He played.
He's not starting?
No, they started Taj Gibson at center and Randall at the 4 with Marcus Morris at the 3.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
RJ Barrett at the 2, and then Frank, Ntilikina at the one.
Oh, it's such a dumpster fire. Why wouldn't they start Mitchell Robinson? He's their best player. He's
Yeah,
literally. That's so strange to me. What the hell?
yeah. See, I would go with. I mean, if you want to start Frank, I guess to try and see if he has anything, that's fine. And RJ obviously is the rookie; they got to develop him. But they should be playing Knox and Robinson more, even if those guys struggle.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do with a 4 and what's the record now?
I mean, yeah. Even if you don't think Mitchell Robinson's better than Taj Gibson, that's a team rebuilding. So play the young guy, let him learn on the job, give him more minutes. I don't know why you're playing the veteran when you're about to go 4-20. I don't know why you start Gibson over Robinson. Makes no sense. Robinson, I think, is better. Jake Carey says Mitch Robinson has no clue, but I'm a Robinson fan. Dude's a really good rim protector and just needs to learn how to finish a little bit better as a pick and roll big. But he doesn't really have a great passer on the court or a great pick and roll player that can get him a lot of lobs or anything like that. They're pretty mediocre at the guard spots. So he needs somebody like if Mitchell Robinson was in Houston, man. Dude would be getting so many lobs because he's such an athletic big and such a lob target. He just doesn't have anybody that utilizes him in that way offensively.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't like him, I'd love to steal him from him.
Oh, I know. That is our backup center behind Nurk. That'd be deadly.
And Jake, man, yeah, I know he doesn't have a clue, but you can always find use for a guy who has a true shooting percentage of almost 70% in both seasons he's played. Yeah.
And who can protect the rim.
Yeah.
And he's young, cheap.
Almost a 10% block percentage in his career. Huge defensive box plus minus. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know stats don't tell the whole story, but part of that's playing on a crappy team where no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Everybody was talking about, once we get Hazonia out of New York, he'll be a completely different player. So, I mean, don't want to, I'm not saying Jake said that. I just don't want to see the people that were trying to tell me that, Hazonia was held back by New York, trashing, or saying Mitchell Robinson is overrated or a bad player. I mean, look who he's playing with. That was exactly my point. He doesn't have guards that can feed him a lob. He doesn't have good passing guards. He doesn't really have much talent around him, and he's the type of guy who fits in well when he has talented offensive players where he can catch lobs, catch dump-off passes, and then be a huge defensive presence on the other side of the floor.
Yeah, can you imagine him in a center with, I mean, I know Hood got hurt, but that lineup where the other four can score and all he has to do is hang around the rim and go for offensive rebounds, and then on defense just protect the rim,
That'd be ideal for him. That'd be an ideal situation for him. I don't think they trade him though.
No, I don't
think so. It's just
so
surprising
either.
that they're not starting him. But
I want to say Knox looked terrible, but he only played.
He's just super inconsistent, man. He'll have flashes here and there, and it's like, okay, that's why they drafted him. But and that's the thing with young players like that. If he becomes consistent, if his flashes become more of like how he is consistently, he'll be a good player. He just has to figure it out. But I mean, dude's really young, playing in a bad situation. So I still think long-term potential. He can be a really solid starter in this league. But
I don't know. Like, I know Dennis Smith Jr. hasn't been good this year either, but he only played 13 minutes. He's barely playing this year.
That dude's a bust, and it's funny because New York fans really wanted to draft him, and then they were pissed when they drafted Frank Ntilikina over Dennis Smith Jr. Now they got both of them, and Knicks fans were getting pissed when Dennis Smith Jr. was playing over Frank Ntilikina. It's funny how that's ended up with their fans, and it's funny how they booed the Porzingis pick, then they loved Porzingis, then they were pissed when they traded him, and then they booed Porzingis when he returned. Like, that fan base doesn't seem to know how it feels about things there. But that's New York for you. Kyle Hack said, let me find it. We got our fantasy football league and forum guys in here. We got JDC, we got Hack. Did you tweet it out on the forum?
No, I didn't. I just got home. Yeah,
we got some of our guys in here. He said Kevin Love is definitely coming to Portland next summer off season for vacation.
and Jake, I fully realize that Knox sucks and Dennis Smith Jr. sucks and stuff like that. But like, I didn't understand like what they're doing. If you're gonna be a last place team, like you might as well play those guys and see what you have, or try to get some trade value out of them or something. I don't know. Like the whole direction of the franchise is just a joke.
Yeah, yeah. That team just seemed like they rolled over, man. So like ball movement wise, how were we tonight?
It was okay. I mean, it was mostly just, when Dame's on fire and he's hitting shots, it's pretty hard to beat us. I mean, we finished with 20 assists. I didn't see a lot of ball stopping plays. But yeah, some of the guys like CJ and Carmelo struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's not a good team to really like.
Yeah.
Gauge that on. It's a very soft defense, so
it's hard. It's hard knocking ISO ball or players going 1-on-1 when they're A, making shots like Dame was.
Yeah,
and B, like they're getting whatever shots they wanted when they went at guys. So it's hard to. It's not like you're going against a good defense and you're forcing up tough shots. So I didn't see much of that.
Yeah, and I mean, like we talk about ISO and we put such a negative connotation with it. It's not necessarily like it doesn't have to be a bad thing. You get mismatches, isolate. Right. You got a guy who's going. Isolate. The problem is when it's not working, we rely too much on that, and when 3-point shots aren't falling, we rely too much on that as well. And we get stagnant and shoot a bunch of jump shots that aren't falling. If jump shots are falling, obviously that's a great thing. If iso ball is working, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's just and I know we talk about it like it's bad. But that negative connotation shouldn't always be there because there's situations where it's the right thing or where it is good for the team. CJ's on fire, it's good for the team. You look at Western Conference semifinals last season in Denver, that Game 7, man. CJ was isolating, but he was on fire. That offense could get nothing going. Those isolation possessions were good. They were what we needed. It's just kind of subjective. You got to provide the proper context with it is the easiest way that I can describe it. So yeah, I mean, like isolating against a bunch of weak defenders like this isn't really a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's just like a game like this, I just want the team to be like, okay, we know we can beat this team. We're up 15. Like, let's really try and overpass. You know what I mean? Just to work on ball movement, just to work on making the right pass. Like, if we overpass, fine, but the Knicks are so bad, I just wanted to see him kind of like experiment with certain things and work on certain things, which is why I liked Scal playing next to Hassan, experimenting with that lineup for a little bit, which worked well. But I mean, if I'm coaching the team and we're up 20 in the third quarter and we basically have these guys put away, I would just be saying, let's work on our ball movement and let's work on our off-ball cutting, moving well off the ball. Let's just work on that. Let's just literally just focus on that offensively. And try and even overdo that almost every time down, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's so hard to like nitpick on anything in a game like this because it was just garbage ball for especially the whole second half. After we ran on that run in the second quarter, it was over. So,
Casey Brewer says, I gotta get out of here soon, but add me on here or find a way to get a hold of me, and I will get you tickets to a game. I got season tickets and hand them out every so often and been listening to you guys. All right, man. You got Twitter? I'd greatly appreciate tickets. I haven't even been to a game yet this year, man. That'd be extremely generous of you. Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter at TorJonesYT or something like that, or I'll catch you another one of these streams, hopefully, and figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure that out because I'd gladly accept that, man. That'd be awesome. I'd be very, very appreciative of that.
After the stream ends, you could leave how to get a hold of you too in the comment section below.
Yeah, my email is blazersuprise@gmail.com. So you can email me there. Anyway, we need some mods. Russell first round exit Westbrook says we need some mods. Geez, yeah. I mean, I might add mods in the future to like some of like the most like the people that are in here the most.
Robbie Stackhouse continuously keeps posting. Rumor has it that Caleb has requested a trade to Portland in all caps. We got it.
Yeah.
I heard Tori talking about it earlier for a little bit. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. But yeah, calm down.
I was saving it for later on in the podcast after we're
Yeah.
completely done talking about this game.
Yeah.
Also wanted to save it for the podcast tomorrow to go like fully into depth on it. I just didn't want the post game stream to just be a trade talk fest, because then why is it even called the post game stream if we're just talking trades and not about the game?
Mello Stace said basically it was a practice game. Yeah, I had a real like preseason-y vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just that's the thing. Bottom feeders like this, it's nice to get these teams at home.
Right.
We've been struggling with these types of teams on the road. I think this is really the first like legitimate bottom feeder we've gotten at home. We haven't gotten like a Cleveland Cavaliers team at home. We haven't gotten a I don't know who the worst team in the West right now. We haven't gotten like a Memphis Grizzlies at home. We haven't really gotten easy home games, so to say. We've played OKC 3 times, which is Robbie isn't trolling. Robbie has donated here. Robbie's legit. It's all good, Robbie. He's hyped. He's hyped about a big name player wanting to come to Portland, and I can't really blame him. But yeah, we see that, and we'll talk about that a little bit tonight, and then we'll talk about it more on the podcast tomorrow. I just wanted to say that for the podcast. I probably should have reiterated that and let you know that I saw your message. But it's interesting. We'll get into that. Let's see here. I forget what I was talking about before.
Wait, what is it? Kevin Love's interested in coming to Portland? What is this all about? No,
dude, I mean, like,
that's
so
all anyone
rare.
was talking about today.
I know. When I pulled up the post-game stream, when I started it, everybody's just, Kevin Love, Danilo Gallinari, Portland, rumors. I saw somebody say Bobby Portis rumored to Portland. It was like, what?
Yeah, I heard that. Did anyone provide a link to that?
No, so I don't know where that came from. I asked the dude to provide a link. Maybe he did, but I didn't see it. But anyway.
Just playing around, Robbie. Sorry.
I completely lost my train of thought and my rhythm. What was I talking about before that?
You're talking about playing bad teams at home.
Oh yeah, I mean we played OKC 3 times, but
God,
they're not that bad. That was a really good game we played. The second time we played them, that was a really good game we played. That was maybe our best performance all year. We absolutely wiped the floor with them. And I want to see us. We played a really good style of basketball that game. And guys were hitting shots at the same time, but we played a really good brand of basketball. I want to see more games like that where we play like that.
Right.
Am I still synced? My syncing keeps changing. If I'm not synced anymore, let me know. Let me know, because I have to adjust it on the fly, but I can't really it's not easy for me to tell. So yeah, if you guys, if it becomes unsynced, let me know. Seemed like it's a little closer. I basically have a number that I tweak to delay the audio to match it up with the video.
It's just so frustrating because we didn't really play well at all that last OKC game. Nothing like we did the time before playing them. And if we just get that game, we're at 11-14 right now. Same won 53 games, and we're talking about being above 500 at home. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just I know it's just 1-14. Sounds way better than 10-15 right now.
11-14 was kind of like our goal record for the team. I mean,
yeah,
we're one game behind that, but we should be okay. See, there's just a lot of games this year. Let me know if it's synced now. I just tweaked it back to what it normally is. I think it went back to the normal. There's usually a normal number that I keep it at that usually lines it up. So hopefully it's good to go now. As I said, gotta adjust on the fly because my laptop kind of struggles with this a little bit, but. Yeah, there's just a lot of games this year that I feel like we should have won. Even going back to the Philadelphia game, should have won that game. There's another game we blew a big lead in the fourth quarter. I can't remember what game that was. You look at the Cavs game on the road, the Pelicans game on the road, which was Melo's first game. I feel like if it was Melo's third or fourth game, that's a game we could have won. You look at the Thunder at home. There's a lot of games that we've been pretty competitive in, but we've lost. There's a lot of games we should have taken care of. I mean, you could look at 4 or 5 games. If we were 15-10 instead of 10-15, nobody would be freaking out. Oh, everybody would be excited about these trade targets. Like, we're gonna make a playoff run. We're gonna make a big trade to make a playoff run. You know what I mean? So it's kind of sucks that we've lost some of these games. Spurs on the road was a bad loss. We had a huge lead, and I remember that was a huge lead in the first half. Then got down like 15 and almost came all the way back. We haven't played Phoenix yet.
Yeah, Robbie's now trying to troll.
Come on, Robbie. Maybe Robbie's mistaken. Maybe that was I think that was a preseason game he might be thinking about. But yeah. So I mean, like, there's games we've given away. Milwaukee was winnable, but that was a game that was we didn't lose to
Phoenix, man. We haven't played Phoenix yet.
Yeah, we haven't played Phoenix yet. Milwaukee was winnable too. The first Clippers game was winnable, but that's teams that are more talented than us, and those were games on the road. So yeah, you can pick out more games like that, but I mean, I'm just talking about the games that we should have taken care of. There's been multiple of them, multiple missed opportunities. Golden State was another one. That Golden State game on the road, we should have won. I mean, like, we're 10-15, but God, dude, we're 10-15 because we've missed a lot of opportunities on games we should win, which is why I thought it was important that we just absolutely dismantle the New York Knicks tonight. Get right. I don't even know who we play next.
We played Denver on Thursday night in Denver.
Oh, man, that's...
I
don't want to be pessimistic.
Maybe Jamal Murray will be out. That might help.
What is a trunk contusion, bro?
I thought he landed on his hip. I don't know.
I've never heard that before. I read it, trunk contusion. I read it on air. It's like...
Yeah, I heard you. I saw a video of him laying on the ground holding his hip, but maybe trunk is like your tailbone or like...
Yeah, and I mean, Denver hasn't been playing that well. What's so strange about that is a couple of years ago, they were a really solid offensive team. The year they barely missed the playoffs, they were a really solid offensive team, horrible defensive team. Now they're a really good defensive team, and they're struggling offensively. It's kind of flipped. It's kind of weird. But they haven't been playing well. If they're without Jamal Murray, that'll be a game that maybe we could win against a team that's doing better than us, in a tough place to win. Like, that would be a huge win. That would be our best win this season. I feel like we don't have a signature win. I feel like we don't have a good win on the road. In terms of, like, winning teams that we've beaten, we haven't really beaten winning teams. We beat the Mavericks on the road. That's probably our best win, but we had Collins for part of that game. That was the game Collins got hurt. So it'd be nice to go on the road to Denver and pick up a win, especially, like, if they don't have Jamal Murray, then that gives us a better chance. Jokic has struggled this year. I don't know, man. That would be a good game to go win. I'm looking at some of their player stats right now. Jamal Murray, actually their leading scorer. Nikola Jokic is only getting 16 points per game on 31 minutes per game. 10 rebounds, 6 assists. So his stats are down. His efficiency's down. His three-point shooting's down. We saw Whiteside on the first night of the regular season get hyped to go up against Jokic and did a good job in the first half. That was a game we lost, but Whiteside... if Whiteside can do a good job on Jokic and they don't have Jamal Murray, then they're gonna start struggling for buckets. Barton has been playing better this season, but Gary Harris has struggled with his efficiency. Paul Millsap's getting 13 points per game. Paul Millsap is kind of what I'm worried about, but Carmelo is strong. You know what I mean? Carmelo is strong. He's a guy that can kind of bang with Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap isn't the tallest guy. He's not taller than Carmelo. So actually that might be a good matchup for Carmelo. Their bench has been struggling. Plumlee's been struggling. Monte Morris has been struggling. Malik Beasley's been struggling. Jeremy Grant's been struggling. So, like, their bench was a huge strength of theirs in past years. Their bench has been struggling. This team just... I thought Denver kind of overachieved last year. You remember me saying that before the season?
Who?
Denver. I thought Denver kind of overachieved last season.
Yeah, you did say that.
And the way they're playing right now, I feel like that might be a little bit more who they are than what they did last season. I don't feel like they're that. I don't think this team is that good. I still think they're kind of overachieving defensively because they've been really, really good defensively. I think they've been playing a little bit over their heads. Jokic should be playing better. I don't know. It's just I still don't feel like we have this team figured out. I still feel like the league doesn't know quite how good the Nuggets are yet. I don't know. So, I mean, we'll see. But this is a game that I think we do have a chance in. It would be a great win. If we could go 11-5, this is like one of our hardest games on the schedule until 2020. We have a pretty easy schedule in December because we got the Nuggets. The Nuggets on, is that Thursday?
The Nuggets game is Thursday, TNT,
Okay.
the late game. And then we have 4 days off till Monday is our next game at Phoenix.
And I don't think Phoenix is that good. They're
and then we have a 4-game homestand with teams like Golden State, Orlando, Minnesota, and New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
That's
if
six,
if we win Thursday night, we could easily go on a winning streak here.
I mean, that would just be such a huge game before playing. Like, if we were, as I said earlier this season, I don't really want to look ahead at games, but this Nuggets game I feel like could be a pivotal game in this season. If we end up losing this game, it's more of the same. If we end up winning this game to get to 11-15 with trade rumors percolating, if we were able to get 11-15 before we go on a stretch where we play the Suns on the road, the Warriors at home, the Magic at home, without Vucevic, I think the Timberwolves at home and the Pelicans at home. I feel like getting a win in Denver would give us some confidence. I feel like, if we're able to play better and able to play well on the streak, like we could maybe get back to 500. Maybe get close to 500 there. This streak, I feel like these upcoming games are... It might be the most important stretch of the season. It's games that we should win. There's one game on the road against a team who's been struggling, who could be without their second best player. And it's do or die time. You know what I mean? If we struggle on this stretch and if we end up 12-19 or 13-18, and then our schedule toughens up in January, it's not looking good. If we're able to get back to 500, start playing better, I mean, I think we'll be in fine shape. So I think this is a very important stretch coming up. Yeah.
It just sucks that we already lost to Golden State and New Orleans. Things like that, like you just talked about.
OKC at home in Philadelphia when we blew that last second coverage. Yeah,
but that 4-game stand with Golden State, Orlando, Minnesota, New Orleans, you cannot go 2-2 on that if you want to get back into for sure playoff mode.
I think we gotta go at least 4-2 over the next 6 games. Let's throw Denver on the road and Phoenix on the road into that. Win one of those games and go 3-1 the last 4 games. We gotta go at least 4-2, I think. Yeah,
because that would put us at what 14 and
16.
14 and 17, I think.
Oh, 17. Yeah, my math. 14 and 17. Yeah.
Yeah, because then we go.
I want to go 5-1, man.
We have a tough couple games at Utah and then versus the Lakers after that.
Utah's been struggling too.
Yeah, but
if we're able to build a winning streak, build some confidence, and then we have a 3-day layoff, or we have 2 days off before Utah. Lakers at home. Lakers, we play them when we're at home. That's a very tough game. Suns at home. Yeah, it does toughen up a little bit. Then we got Mavericks on the road. It's not horrible. It's not as hard as I thought in January, to be honest. Oh, wait, I was looking at the middle. It's not as tough as I thought, to be honest.
Yeah, we go on that trip right at the beginning of the year where we're at New York, at Washington, but then we go at Miami, at Toronto, at Minnesota. So
I feel like those are teams that we can still beat if we play well.
You hope to go 3-2 at worst than that one.
Yeah, but I mean, we're diving super deep into our schedule here. I just think it does toughen up. It's not terribly hard. Maybe we can put together a good stretch where we beat some good teams. But we got to take care of business at home against bad teams, which we got a lot of those games coming up.
We were 4-1 at one point a few days ago, and now we're 4-3 before tonight. So it's just kind of frustrating.
4-3 in terms of what?
Well, we were. like in the 5 games since
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Melo and Dame was healthy, we were like 4-1, and then
Mm-hmm.
we lost to the Clippers, but then we beat the Kings, so we were, 5-2 or something, and then we
Yeah,
blew those 2 games at home.
yeah. I mean that Phoenix game will be interesting too because that's kind of a team we're chasing right now, which is something I didn't expect to be saying. Um, but right now we are 2 games back of the 8th seed, which is Phoenix. Um, we're only 3.5 games back of the 6th seed. I think we got to get to the 6th seed. If you have Dallas maybe ending up being the 3, they're not experienced in the postseason.
Yeah, they'd be a team like Denver last year that's
And
beatable.
I feel like Luca would be the type of player to maybe struggle in the playoffs because he gets a lot of calls, man, that I'm not sure he's gonna be able to get. And he like uses his body well. If the defenses can be a little bit more physical with him, um, bump him off his spots a little bit, and he doesn't get the same calls. I feel like it might be a bit of a Harden situation because Harden relies so much on the free throw line and the contact that he creates. Uh, and that's why he's such a great regular season player and then struggles in the playoffs because the game is just officiated a little bit differently. It's played a little bit differently. I mean, like Dallas that 3 seed. If we can get to that 6 seed, Utah, we'd have to pass like Utah or Denver. I think Utah would be the prime candidate there, but I still don't think it's out of the question. And if we were in that situation, then we could make maybe a little bit of a run if we make a trade. I don't know. That's the goal right now is to get to that 6 seed. We're only 3.5 games back.
Yeah. I think we're 1-9 against teams with winning records. So
Exactly. We got to start
unless
beating
that
these good
improves,
teams.
that's not going to happen.
Yep, that's why it starts with Denver in our next game. That's why it starts there.
The thing is,
I'll catch
other
you
than
later, Russell, first round exit Westbrook.
wait a minute, other than the Clippers, like most of these teams, we still play multiple times too. So
Yeah. So we kind
like
of control our own destiny in a way.
we haven't played the Jazz, so go 3-1 against them or something. That
Mm-hmm.
makes up 2 games just by playing them.
I mean, of course, we could also go 1-3 and lose 2
Right.
games. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like we got like those games will be very, very important. But the fact that they're still left on the schedule is kind of promising because we're not in a good spot, but we do have the ability to really dig ourselves out of it if we play better and start beating winning teams. Maybe make an upgrade, that type of thing. We I mean, like we still have hope for this team this season. There's still reason to have hope. Gonna ride with these guys, see where this goes. Could end up continuing to be very frustrating, but I don't know. We'll just have to see where this goes. There's still it could still end up being a solid season. I still think there's a small chance that this team could make it to the second round, and at that point, you're playing one of the LA teams. Maybe one of them has a star that ends up hurt. Then we could compete there. We have Collins and Nurkic back. I don't know. That's the thing. Like long term, I don't think it's as dire as it has felt, so to say.
Plain White asked if we're a better team than Miami. Not right now.
No, Miami's 18-6.
Yeah.
I feel like Miami's overachieving a bit.
Yeah.
I think they're overachieving a bit. But I think they'll come back down to earth. That's not a team that I look at on the same level as like a I don't know, like Dallas and Miami aren't teams that I look at as being like 18-6 level teams. You know what I mean? You look at
No.
just their record, like, oh, that's a really tough game. But I don't look at them as being that tough. Still a tough team, but I don't think they're as good as their record indicates.
Yeah, I kind of expect Dallas to fall off a little bit at some point.
Yeah. I mean, if Luka ends up missing games, that team is going to be awful. That team is awful without Luka. He might be the most valuable player. I didn't have Dallas in the playoffs simply because like they don't have great pieces out of it. I thought Porzingis would struggle when he got back. He has struggled. I just didn't expect Luka to turn into a god, getting almost 30 points per game, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. Oh
Yeah.
my good efficiency. So I didn't see Luka becoming this good this early in his career, but he has, and that's the reason why they're so good. They'll be interesting to watch for the rest of the season. They have good wins. They've been a solid team. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not good.
I know Dallas they're playing great. I just don't.
I don't think they're at 17-6 or whatever their record is right now.
If people find figure out a way. I mean, it's probably easier said than done, but if you can slow down Luka a little bit, I mean, like you said, they don't really have a lot around
Yeah,
him.
they're on pace to win 57 games. I don't think Dallas is a 57 win team. I don't think they're that caliber. I think right now they're like a 50 win team. 48 to 50 win team. 48 to 51 wins, somewhere in there. I don't think they're a 57 win team. Right now, that's the pace they're playing at. So, that's what I mean by that. 48 wins to 51 wins is still a good team, so I'm not saying they're not a good team. I just think their record is a little bit better than the team they actually are. Just like our record is worse than the team that I think we actually are. Right now, I think we're about a 500 level ball club. Hopefully, that will improve. Whether it's internally with style of play, players starting to play better, us playing a better brand of basketball. It could also be externally with a guy we bring in via trade, maybe a Kevin Love, maybe a Danilo Gallinari. So let's segue into that.
All right.
Let's segue into that. Kevin Love, man, apparently wants to come to Portland. There was a report saying he wanted to play for a contender, and then there's a follow-up report saying that he wants to play for the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
That could be a good thing, because I feel like Cleveland would be the type of franchise that would want to do right by Kevin Love. And I'm not completely off the Kevin Love train that I wouldn't want him regardless. And if Cleveland wants to do right by Kevin Love, then we might be able to get him at a good enough price where I actually would be down for the move, if that makes sense.
What's that price you're willing to pay?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure because he's often injured. He's a 36% 3-point shooter. People talk about him like he's some sniper. He's a 36% 3-point shooter. I don't know what they would do with Melo. Bring him off the bench, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't trade Little. I wouldn't trade Simons. I wouldn't trade Collins. At most, I'd give up a first-round pick. I'm not even sure if I'm on board with that.
So they offer Love for Whiteside, Trent, and a first.
I ask for a second-round pick back.
They say no deal.
I ask for the right to swap second-round picks. I try and get a little bit more out of that. I don't know what second-round picks they have. If it's like a later second-round pick, then maybe we could get it. Theirs, not so much. That'll be in the 30s.
I don't think they would even go for that low. They're like,
I mean, Trent isn't Gary Trent Jr. from Ohio? Why do I think Gary Trent Jr. is from Ohio? Didn't he play high school basketball in Ohio? And I combined Hawaii and Ohio. What the hell? Ohio.
Well, his dad played for Ohio, right? Shaq and the Mac.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he grew up there or anything. I don't know.
I know he has some sort of connection to Ohio. So that'd be cool for the Cavs. And that's what I'm saying though, is it could be favorable if Cleveland. Why is my stream completely frozen? The hell? Why is my camera frozen? Okay.
It's just going in and out, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it's lagging. It's lagging on my end. I don't know why it's doing that. It's my computer having trouble. But hopefully it stops freaking out. I'm going to turn on the cover just because my camera is having trouble. But that's what I'm saying, though, is if Cleveland wants to do right by Kevin Love, we might be able to get a good price where I'd actually be down for it, like trading a first, Gary Trent Jr. and Kevin Love trading like Whiteside, Gary Trent Jr. and a first-round pick, like top 20 protected for Kevin Love and a second-round pick. If the second-round pick is in like the upper half of the second round, like I'd be down for that, and maybe, it wouldn't be great value at all, but maybe Cleveland wants to do right by Kevin Love as a thank you to Kevin Love for everything he's done for them. He's been a good veteran there during a rebuild, a good mentor there, a good locker room presence there, even though that team has been awful. He's kind of been the transition guy from like the Kyrie, LeBron, K-Love era to the post-LeBron era for them. So maybe they'd want to do right by Kevin Love.
See, I don't think there's any. I think they're completely off their rocker with how much value they think he has,
yeah.
And then that's why. I mean, until yesterday they didn't even say they were willing to trade him at all. um, and just the fact that they signed him to that extension last year instead of trading him, which I believe he would have had tremendous trade value last year as an expiring contract plus keeping his bird rights. And then he was hurt most of last year, so you wouldn't have had to sign him to that big of a contract probably. You probably could have gotten him in the 15 to 20 million range because the market for him wouldn't have been that great this summer, I don't think. But yeah, I just think it was a huge disservice for them to do that, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want him is because after this year he still has like 3 years and over 100 million left on his contract, or around 100 million. And that's just crazy. Like he'll be 32 next year. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Love. Basically, I know he's better than Melo, but like Melo's like 1/15th of the cost right now, you know?
Yeah. I think he is. I think he's like. He's far better than Melo, I think. He's a better rebounder. He's a better passer. He's a more consistent shooter. He would be able to play within an offense that moves the ball well. He'd be able to fit in with that better than Melo, I think. Not saying Melo's bad at that, but Kevin Love is a good passer and moves the ball well. I think he's just better in pretty much every aspect of the game. Now, is he that much better than Melo that you want to take on that contract and give up assets to get that? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not really on board with giving up anything more than the trade I said, and I'm not even sure how favorable I am for the trade I said. It would be cool getting a player of that caliber in a way, you know what I mean? So if the move did happen, I wouldn't sit here being negative. I'd say, okay, Portland got Kevin Love. It's cool that he's coming home, getting a high caliber player. We'll see what he does for this team. That would be my reaction. Doesn't necessarily mean that I would technically do it, but if it's something like the trade I proposed, I wouldn't hate on it after it happened.
Yeah, so do you know what he measured at in the offseason when they had to do it?
Kevin Love?
Wasn't he only like 6'8"?
Yeah, he was. I predicted that, man, because we talked about we talked about this a little bit. Yeah, he's not as big as he was listed. I think he was listed as 6'10". He's like 6'8".
So like he's kind of undersized to play a center, but at the same time, like I don't think he's a good power forward anymore in the NBA, especially on a team with our guard situation defensively.
Yeah.
So I worry about locking up this team with him for 3 more years after this one, and then if Nurkic is healthy, like them not meshing well on the court, offensively it'd be fine. I'm not worried about that. It's just he's going to get a step slower each year as it goes by, and he's already probably not a good defender at the 4 anyway, so it just kind of worries me long term.
Yeah. I'd rather get a 3-and-D guy, man. I'd rather get a Robert Covington or Renato Porter Jr., and I think Kevin Love might be harder to get than those guys, so that's why I'm not on the Kevin Love train. I posted that whole thread. You know, we talked about it on either our podcast or our last postgame. I think it was our podcast. The whole like trade setup. You responded to one of the tweets. You know what I'm talking about. The one with going out and getting Glenn Robinson just for help as small forward, going out and taking on Gorgie Jang in order to help us land Robert Covington without giving up a pick, which I'm not sure Minnesota would do. But if they're not doing well and want to clear up cap space, they got some good options at the 2 and the 3 behind Covington. They may look to move off his contract, even though it's a good contract and then move off Jang's contract and combine those guys just for an expiring, just to clear up $28 million of cap space, and then going out and getting Otto Porter Jr., a guy like that I think is a great option because Chicago is notoriously cheap. I don't think they'd want to give him that contract. I don't think he really fits their long-term plans. And he's going to probably opt into his $27 million player option. He's been hurt this year. So they might not want his contract at all and be willing to trade him for an expiring, maybe a Bazemore, and you throw in like Kazonia and Tolliver to match salary there. That would be a much better series of moves than going out and getting like a Kevin Love and a Danilo Gallinari. Because though Covington, Otto Porter Jr., those guys can knock down the three ball at a better clip than Kevin Love. Okay, they're more efficient three-point shooters than Kevin Love, and they're much, much better defenders. They're more cost-controlled for the future. Otto Porter's making a lot and will make a lot next season, but after that, he's a free agent. Robert Covington's on a good contract. Like that's the way this team needs to go. Not going out and getting Kevin Love and Danilo Gallinari and those types of guys.
It's three pretty injury-prone players, but
yeah, but I mean, like, you're talking about, like, if you're going to go out and make moves, you got to make moves that give you the most upside. If you're going to go out and try and make things happen. I think that Covington and Otto Porter Jr., those guys give you the most upside. If they get hurt, then you know what? Screw the season. We're cursed. We have everybody hurt. But, like, if they don't get hurt, that team's going to be far better with guys like that. Guys that can guard 1 through 4. Guys that, like Otto Porter Jr., is a consistent 40% plus three-point shooter, and he can make plays off the dribble a little bit. Robert Covington's a good three-point shooter on volume, and like Robert Covington is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Maybe the most underrated perimeter defender in the league. Would be the perfect guy to put on a Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, somebody like that. That's the type of needs we make. It'd basically be like having I have a question for you. Do you think Robert Covington and Otto Porter Jr., do you think defensively that is a better combination for the Portland Trailblazers than Maurice Harkless and Al-Farouq Aminu, just on the defensive end?
Yes.
Yes, I'd agree with that. And then you look at what they bring offensively, how much better they are offensively than both those guys. Like, and then getting Nurkic back, Holmes back, Lindley, guys coming to it. Like, that's the way the Portland Trailblazers need to go. Even if they don't end up winning this year, those guys will still be the same players next year. Then Portland would have expiring contracts. If they took on Jang, he'd be an expiring contract, $60 million. Otto Porter Jr. would be $27 million expiring contract. If we then wanted to go out and try and trade for a star, we still, hopefully have all our first round picks. Maybe an additional pick. Maybe it's a lottery pick if we end up losing. You know what I mean? Like that's the direction this team needs to go.
That's the only thing I think in the Covington deal, you're probably going to have to give up a first. But yeah, that's the only issue I have with your whole sequence of trades.
I mean, but
probably not enough value.
Isn't taking on Jang's contract basically like worth a first round pick in itself?
It could be, but I just think Covington has more value than just a salary dump.
Maybe. Yeah, it depends on how much they want to clear cap space. Yeah. It depends on some things, but I'd give up a lottery protected first round pick with that package. I think.
Yeah. So this is why I'm not super high on Love, and why I'm more into like those type of moves that you're suggesting. So let's say my hypothetical trade of Whiteside, Trent, and a first-round pick, a 2020 first for Love, right? So then you go into this offseason, you have Dame, CJ, Nurk, Love, Hood likely opting in. You got Collins. Let's see, how many players have I said? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scal's a free agent, so you're not sure about him. Simons, Little, Hazonia if he opts in. Yeah. It'd be nice to throw him into that trade. Just
I don't know why we gave him a player option, man. I don't want him to accept that. I don't care that he's making the minimum.
So you got 9 guys under contract you'll be way over the cap, and you don't have a first round pick. So you're basically looking at, if Jody's willing to pay the tax, having like a tax mid-level exception, which will be around like $6 million or so next year.
Yeah.
To add a player, and then minimum contracts. So like guys like Hazonia and Tolliver this year. So you have 9 guys under contract, and that's the only way you can add players other than trades. But there's not really many tradable pieces in that equation. So like you're basically stuck with hoping that some players want to come join that roster and think it's good enough to win and are willing to take the minimum to do so. Maybe re-sign Melo, either for that mid-level or for minimum if he's not getting offers elsewhere. But yeah, you're looking at a team like that and just hoping that you can round out the next 5 guys on your roster with like waiver wire scraps. And
yeah,
I don't know if that roster is good enough. I mean, it's good. It's definitely like playoffs. It's definitely has the potential to do very well.
Yeah, but it's not as good of a roster if you like take Love out of it and throw in Covington, Otto Porter Jr., Gorgie Jang. And I think there's a chance, like if we give up a first round pick and an expiring for Covington and took on Gorgie Jang, I think that would probably be Minnesota's best deal out there for Covington. It would that would be a great deal for them for Covington. And then if we could, like, you know, if Chicago wanted off Otto Porter Jr.'s contract, we could get him. I think that team would be better, but also to your point, we'd have tradable contracts going into the offseason. We'd have tradable contracts especially at the trade deadline next season. We'd basically be in the same position we are now with big expirings. You know, Otto Porter Jr., he's a good player, but if we had a better option out there with a team, you know, maybe Blake Griffin is back to playing like an all-star and he's healthy and Detroit wants off his contract and they want an expiring, maybe, you know, you trade Otto Porter Jr. and a pick for him. Because at that point, we would have traded our 2020 first for Covington, but that draft would be done. So we'd still have all our future picks, 2021 and into the future. And we'd have Otto Porter Jr. $27 million expiring contract. That's like Whiteside's expiring this year. We'd have Gorgie Jang he'd be a $16 million expiring contract. That's close to Bazemore's. So the team would be better, but it'd also have a lot more flexibility in terms of what types of moves it could make. It'd also have better depth. Because instead of just having Kevin Love, you'd have Covington, Otto Porter Jr., Gorgie Jang. Now this is obviously all hypothetical, but like I would much rather have that scenario. And the thing is, I think it's just as realistic that we could get that scenario trading a first round pick in our expiring contracts as it is to get Kevin Love, because we'd have to trade a first round pick to get Kevin Love. And I think we could maybe get Otto Porter Jr., Robert Covington, and Gorgie Jang, and only have to give up a first round pick, which is the same price for Kevin Love, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just got to hope that I mentioned this on Twitter, but like Otto Porter Jr., so he's got that extra year on his contract. The Bulls are cheap. They're talking about finally getting rid of Gar Forman, who's been their GM forever. I don't know if Paxson would go along with him because he's been there forever too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they gave up expirings last year. It was like Jabari Parker, Bobby Portis. I think there were some other pieces there, but they didn't really give up any assets that they were keeping long term anyway to get Porter. So they'd not, like, this is the problem with Blake Griffin is like Detroit almost feels like they have to get a level of Tobias Harris type player and a first round pick back in a trade for him. Otherwise, it's not worth it to them.
Yeah, since that's what they gave up to get him. Yeah.
So Chicago's not like that. They're like, well, we didn't give anything up for Otto Porter. If they don't want his contract next year, they're going to trade him for an expiring most likely. At worst, you maybe have to throw in a second round pick, or
which
maybe
is fine. Yeah.
That's where you include a guy like Trent or something just to include the value a little bit. And then if you do include Trent, maybe you can get like a wing from them back, like maybe a Denzel Valentine or someone that's sitting on their bench there just to provide some filler for the end of our bench. And then, but yeah, like it kind of sucks because the whole injury situation with Porter, his hip and now his foot, I think, it's kind of throwing a wrench into this.
But that could end up being a good thing for the Blazers because that could lower his trade value. If by the time Portland trades for him, he's starting to get healthy, and then he's healthy for Portland, they would have had to give up less for him. He'd be fresh because he's barely played, and then hopefully he'd stay healthy.
I mentioned this before the season when Blake Griffin was kind of hurt, but like if he hurt his knee and was, let's say he was out for the rest of the year, and they called and said, "Hey, we'll trade you Blake Griffin for Hassan Whiteside," right?
Yeah.
Like that would never happen if he didn't get hurt this year, right? But like it would be possible for us to get him to cheap. It would help us tank this year still, and then also, run it back next year with a lottery pick and Blake Griffin. That would be pretty cool scenario. But like as it is right now, like you have to give up like probably a couple good assets to get him.
Just as far as Otto goes, though, there's just like no downside unless we include a pick, like a first-round pick. If we traded Bazemore, Tolliver, and a second-round pick for Otto Porter Jr., the only downside there is losing the second-round pick. Because like Bazemore, I don't think is a guy who, if we had a better roster, would be in the rotation. Bazemore just is not a good player. I don't think he helps the team. He's just an expiring contract. I don't think that even if Otto Porter Jr. is unhealthy and is out next season, I don't think that's any worse of a asset as Kent Bazemore on the trade market. I don't think it's any worse of I don't think it really hurts our team, since I don't think Kent Bazemore is that much of a help, So Otto Porter Jr., like Kent Bazemore, would just be a player that's not really helping the team in an expiring contract to use to try and upgrade the team at the trade deadline next year. We wouldn't have that expiring contract if we don't make a move for Otto Porter Jr. We just let the expiring of Kent Bazemore run out if we didn't end up trading it. So we're giving up a second-round pick for that? Like, what's the downside even if he is hurt? You know what I mean? It's literally just like a no-risk, high-reward trade. Even if he ends up hurt, I still feel like it could end up helping the team since that'd be a tradable contract next year that we wouldn't otherwise have, if that makes sense. So there's literally no risk to that.
Yeah, I agree. And the only thing I'll say, you're talking about like Bazemore and Hazonia or someone, Tolliver. It does add quite a bit of tax to the. I mean,
that's something that has to be considered for sure. Is Jody might not want to pay that much money, but she's shown that she's willing to pay. So if it's something that the team needs to do, I feel like it'll happen. And I don't know. I mean, it might be an obstacle. It is something to remember. But as I've said, in terms of these trade suggestions, it's something to remember, but it's not something I'm taking into account when I'm trying to think of trade ideas. Because if you went out and swapped Bazemore and Whiteside and Tolliver for Gorgie Jang, Robert Covington, and Otto Porter Jr., yes, you're adding like $6 million to the payroll, and that's adding not only $6 million, that's adding more because we're in the luxury tax, so it's adding like $12 million, $15 million to how much the Blazers have to shell out for their roster. That is something to remember, but they've shown that they're willing to splurge.
Yeah, because so right at the trade deadline last year, we were like 32-20, 32-21, something like that, right? So I think it's a lot easier to, because Olshey said on the trade deadline that they had a possible trade in place for that would have taken on substantial salary, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably a little easier to have that conversation with Jody when you're doing that well versus oh, hey, we're 10-15. Do you want to take on $15 more million in contracts right now? So I'm hoping that's not the case. It'd be awesome if she was just like, you know what? If you think this will make us a winner and turn around our season, in the future, then go for it. If she's that type of owner, that's freaking awesome. She's been a great owner so far in the short time she's been here.
I feel like she's just kind of done what she thinks Paul would do.
Right. So, but she's not interfering in the way Paul would too.
Yeah, that too. That too.
Not that
that's really helped, but
yeah, and I would never blame Paul for this, because if I was an owner, I would be hands-on too, and I would always be like, hey, what do you think of this draft prospect? And I think we should draft this guy, and let's trade for this guy. So
well, I mean, if I was an owner, man, I'd be spitting these ideas to my GM. Shoot, man, if I was an owner, I might be the acting GM.
Yeah, you probably hire yourself as GM.
I'd have an assistant GM to handle all like the logistical, like legal stuff, contract, like whatever, all that type of stuff. I'd just be coming in here, thinking of trade ideas. I'd be vlogging on YouTube as the GM, as the owner of the team. I'd be the best NBA owner, man. I'd be the best, bro. Jody, if you're thinking about selling the team, just give it to me for free. That's what Blazer fans need. Terry Stotts, bye. See you later. Thank you for your service. Not really. Peace. But yeah, I just think that's the type of moves that we should go after. I think we need to add guys with. You don't want to add guys with like Kevin Love's contract for the next 4 or 5 years, however long it is. But you don't want to add guys on expiring contracts either. I think like you can if it's like the right move. I just think the best type of contract to trade for is 2-year contracts, or maybe a guy like Robert Covington who's on a cost-controlled contract over 3 years. Just because of what it allows us to do, and those players are the type of players we need. Jang would come in, replace Whiteside. He's a solid player, makes sense as a backup center. You'd have Melo as the backup 4 behind Otto Porter Jr., Robert Covington as the starting 3. Then you get Collins back end of the season, and he would either take Melo's minutes at the backup 4 or Jang's minutes at the backup 5, maybe a combination of both of theirs, something like that. It just makes sense, man.
Covington's about to turn 29 in a couple of days. Just looked it up, December 14th, so his birthday's Saturday. And then Porter's only 26, so you're looking at adding pieces long-term that can fit in. And the only thing I'll say about expiring contracts is in the right situations, certain players, you'd have their bird rights. If the rest of the season went well, you can maybe re-sign those people and then have them on reasonable contracts. Blanking on an example of that right now. I don't want Gallinari, but like if you traded for Gallinari, you would have his bird rights and could sign him, say to like
you could keep him. You know,
3 years, $45 million or something.
Yeah, that's just not like something you could use as a trade piece in the offseason. That's the problem there. Unless you figured out some sort of weird sign and trade. That's why I like 2-year deals, because they'll be expiring at next year's deadline, and they're contracts that we could hypothetically orchestrate a trade around during the offseason when a lot of guys become available and get moved. I just think in terms of, I just think that's my dream plan. I would rather have that than go out and get a guy like Blake Griffin, which has been like my number one pipe dream. It's not anymore. It's getting Robert Covington, Gorgie Jang, Otto Porter Jr. That's the dream. Yes, I'm reading chat. I don't know why you'd trust Jody over me. Why would you trust Jody over me? Because she is the owner. She hasn't really watched basketball until this year, or until last year. I don't know. I would trust myself over Jody.
Tori, I feel like if you were a GM or the owner, it would be like the ultimate irony that you love the draft, but you would trade away all your draft picks and then want to try to trade back into the draft every year, and like every draft day you're just like, how can we get back into this draft after you traded away all our picks?
that's funny. No, I wouldn't trade away our. I think I'd be pretty well balanced. You know what I mean? I'd trade them away for the right deal. Like you hear me, I'm like, Dude, I don't even want to give up a first-round pick for Kevin Love. You know what I mean? Like some
Yeah.
gyms would be like, "I'll give away three first-round picks for Kevin Love."
The Cavs gave up 2 picks for Timothy Mozgov a few years ago. Like,
Exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'd value our. I feel like I'd value our picks pretty well, but that that is funny, man.
there was a time last season where you had like a level of series of trades like you're doing now, and it was like trading every second round pick and first round pick that we could for like 6 years. Oh, it's just funny.
Yeah. I mean, well, I have fun with some trade ideas.
I
Honestly,
know.
the trade sequence that I came up with and tweeted out, I think is the best trade sequence I've ever come up with. I don't know. Maybe you disagree, but I think that's the best trade sequence I've ever come up with in terms of like how realistic it could be, in terms of what is right for our team from like a fit standpoint and from like a contractual standpoint and the options it gives us. I feel like even throwing in a first round pick on that Covington deal, I feel like that is the best trade sequence I've ever come up with. Do you disagree with that?
I mean, it's pretty good. I wouldn't complain about any of that happening.
Plain white, running a business is hard AF. You have to be really good at talking to people. I mean, running this channel ain't easy. Obviously, it's not an NBA team, but that's why you have people in place.
Hey, I run my own business.
Exactly. Eric runs his own business. You have people in place to help you with that type of thing. And I don't think Jody isn't even that involved. So I think I'd be more involved with talking to people than Jody is, and I think I know how to talk to people pretty well. I think I'm built to own an NBA
Be sweet.
team.
It would be sweet getting her seats for all.
Oh,
all the
bro,
games.
I would be losing my mind. I'd be like I'd be Steve Ballmer.
You're right.
I'd be Steve Ballmer, except I'd be less cringe because my head wouldn't look like an egg. But yeah, I'd be that diehard owner.
Maybe Mark Cuban.
Yeah, I'd probably sit at half court though. Probably get my half court seats next to the bench. I'd want to hear Terry's thoughts. I'd be the type to jump up and go into the huddle, be like, "What the fuck?" Anyway,
I could see you do that running from your seat. Like,
well, I'd hire a coach that wouldn't piss me off like Terry's thoughts.
firing a coach like mid timeout.
Like Terry,
Terry,
I got this. Terry, get out of here. Take a vacation. I'll see you again Monday.
You would hire like Budenholzer, and then like second quarter of the first game, you'd be like, "Get out of here, man! You're done."
No, see, Budenholzer's a great coach, so I wouldn't say anything. But I'd like meet with the coach and I'd talk basketball, but I'd like respect them in a way. I'd just get somebody that I actually respect as a head coach. Basically, not Terry Stotts, because he's overrated by Blazer fans, man. You see that tweet that Joe Simons tweeted out? You know, the host of Blazers Outsiders.
I sure did.
The one that I tweeted and said, "Insightful." God. Terry Stotts is not the problem, guys. Terry is the guy. Like, it was so cringe. It got like 350 favorites. Like, oh,
Yeah.
God. I love tweeting that out, dude. That's my new thing. People just with the surface level stuff acting like super confident in their takes. Terry's not the problem, guys. Terry is the guy. Insightful, man. So insightful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I said, rainbows, butterflies and rainbows on that show, right?
Yeah. It's, I don't know. They got rid of the comedian too. I don't know. I haven't really watched them this year. And mostly everybody in here probably hasn't either, because we got you guys. You said, did it freeze? Did what freeze?
I don't know if I'm having computer issues or if you started spinning on there.
Internet lags here and there for like 3-5 seconds. Decline said that tweet had me rolling. Oh my goodness. Solar Money Eat says, "Don't worry, Tori. We all just have to donate $1 billion. I think the team is worth a little more than that. So $2 billion, and you guys will get your Blazers ran by ran by the next best owner in sports. I wish, man. That's the dream job, is owning the Portland Trail Blazers. More than anything. More than even playing in the NBA. That would be so
You,
much fun, man.
you could just like roll on the team plane too to like go to all the games,
Yeah, I hate
like away
flying, though.
games.
I hate
Oh,
flying,
you
though.
do?
But yeah, dude, I hate flying. I don't like heights, man. I hate crossing the 405 bridge.
Yeah.
I hate flying. I get super bad anxiety. I used to be fine flying, but now I flew like 3 years ago, and it was bad, dude. It was one of the roughest 2 hours of my life. Yeah, I don't feel like I don't like the feeling of hanging 35,000 feet up in the air. It's not fun. If I was an NBA player, I wonder if I get used to it. If I wonder if I'd have to take Xanax or not a Xanax. What is it?
Pull a Royce Young.
What's the medicine that you use for that? God, I forget what it's called. I don't know. Anyway.
When you were in college, did you ever have to fly to games, or did
Nope.
you just bus everywhere?
Even if it was like a 9-hour bus ride, we were bussing. I
Okay.
wish. See, like, I didn't really hate planes then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have, but I didn't realize I hated planes until like the summer after that college season. It would have been legit to fly, man. I would have felt legit. Would have felt like I made it if I had to like fly to a game. But no, we weren't that big time. Didn't make it that big. By the way, for the 70 people in here, I'm doing this thing where if I get $100 in donations in a live stream, I'm dropping a rap song. So if one of you guys is loaded and wants to hear me drop a rap song and probably embarrass myself, we already got 20 out of $100. I'm counting we got $20 in Norwegian dollars. I don't know what that translates to, but we're counting it as $20. I'm gonna keep plugging this, because like, $100 in donations would be awesome. Also, I don't want to rap, but I do it for $100 in donations on the stream. Watch it be just like the best, bro. Watch me be like a really good rapper, honestly. All of a sudden, I'm going on tour just because I got $100 in donos.
You'd have to get a bus though.
Yeah, I'd have to get a bus, tour bus, pimped out tour bus. Royce Young better than Hood though? What? Mace Plum Dog Millionaire Money Gun. If I get $200 in donations on a stream, I'll make a cringy music video for it too. I'd get the money gun. I'd get the money gun. It'd be basic, like white boy thinking that he's rich when he's not. Someone donate 80 more Norwegian kroners.
That'd be funny if like Norwegian dollars were like 5 cents on the dollar, and someone just had to donate like $4 to. I know my math's off, like, and you thought it was 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up the maybe it's $20 after it's converted. Maybe that's how YouTube shows it up. I don't know. I'm googling this right now. 1 Norwegian krone equals 11 cents. So that's $2 then, which is fine.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks for donating, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's in here. I was just curious about that. Can you make a TikTok if you get $200? A TikTok? What would I put? What should I post on the TikTok? I feel like I'm too old, a little too old for TikTok.
Your rap skills.
Do some four bar Friday. 4-bar Friday. I'd actually try and kill it though on that song, because I would want it to be like good enough where like it wouldn't be cringy, where people would be like, "Dude, the hell are you doing?" I'd be like, "I got $100 for it. You would too." But I want it to be good enough to the point that people wouldn't be able to clown me for it.
Yeah.
But last stream we had like $50 donos run through right away. We got a different crowd tonight. That's what I noticed too. Shout out to everybody in here. A little different group of posters. We're missing some of our regulars. I'm trying to remember some of the regulars we're missing. My mind's kind of blanking on some names. I just Travioli.
Your boy Travioli.
Yeah,
Rapping about your ravioli.
That for sure, bro. Tori's 2-Bar Tuesday. Travioli's been like clutch with the donations. Russell Westbrook left. There's some guys I'm blanking on names or whatnot. Shoot, I was supposed to get out mailbag today. I didn't get out the mailbag today. Crap, I gotta get it out tomorrow.
Dame Dollar's not around to make fun of your forehead.
I know we don't have like all the guys that cloud us, man. We got a bunch of people that keep it real. Den Third says, "Yo, I'm here. I've watched every stream since you started." Den Third, yeah, you've been consistent, man. Appreciate it, bro. Not about to admit being a regular. Jason Jensen, I know you're a regular. Most of these people. Crispy Bananas, bro. I'm here every stream. I just never talk. LMAO. Yeah, we definitely got some. I'm not trying to say we don't have any regulars in here at all. There's just some guys that are here usually every stream that aren't. No Gassy Jalapeno. That's what Leo said. There's definitely some people in here that you guys are here every stream, and I appreciate that. Just a little surprising. Maybe that's because it was a blowout. I feel like if it was like a good team in a close game, we'd get it popping in here.
Slap asked where you hoop at.
Lakeshore Athletic Club.
Tori only hoops at some fancy athletic club that's like $60 a month.
Why do you guys think I'm willing to drop that rap song for $100 in donations? I think I'd only get 60 of it, so that'd pay for my membership. And then when I get clowned for it at my gym, I could say, "Hey, that rap song paid for this month's membership." Jimbo Slice, always watch a really comment until today, but y'all my guys, man, props to what you're doing. I recognize your name from a lot of stuff. What's up, Canadian Zombie?
There's Randall Pink Floyd back to talk about how I look like
Munster. He is the guy that started that Munster thing. You do. Look
I always thought it was more like Lurch, but whatever.
He looks like if Chris Kaman and Steve Blake had a love child. I wish that there was a video segment on the Blazers YouTube page where they were mixing faces of players and the players were reacting to that. I wish
it would come out like my face.
Yeah, I wish they mixed Steve Blake and Chris Kaman because it'd come out like Eric's face. He plays like if you took the weaknesses of Chris Kaman and the weaknesses of Steve Blake and combined them together, that's Eric Brand's basketball game. Hey, they're NBA players. It's not a diss. That's not a diss at all. But you got the low post game like Chris Kaman. I give you that.
Mellis Day says he wants to see you posterize me in my basketball career. That's mean, man. Thanks a lot, Mellis Day.
Last week I had a play I could have dunked off the drive in traffic, but this guy like faked like he was going to undercut me, so I ended up like getting high enough. Then I brought it down and like scooped it under the rim because I got scared because I don't get high enough where like I'm a rim grazer, but I was high enough on that dunk. I have my footwork right. I'm a 1-2. I jump off 2 feet, so I kind of like jump with the same footwork Dame does when he's driving left and does the right left dunk. Could have dunked on the man. My rec league team lost today because literally I am with a bunch of guys that struggle to shoot the ball. I'm not trying to hate on my guys, but today they were probably combined 1 for 25 from the 3-point line, and we lost by 3. I ended up dealing with triple teams, and it got to the point where it was like, okay, do I try and score through a triple team, or do I kick it out to my teammates who literally, like, they'd missed, like, their first 23s, man. It was just rough, because I'm just with a different group of guys, because my team I had last season, there was a couple guys coming back. We already won the championship without them, but they were good players, so it would have been too unfair if we had those guys, so they went and kind of, like, dispersed a little bit, because I wanted it to be competitive. So now I'm stuck in between. I'm stuck in like a Warriors type year because I'm dude, it's rough. I need to stream one of the game. Dame Dollar Prize isn't here because he got bad grades from watching your stream so late instead of doing homework. His parents took him away from the streams. That'd be sad, man.
They locked his Wi-Fi.
I'd almost feel bad for that, but I definitely wouldn't feel bad for that.
Hey, Slap. So, are you in the Portland area? Because Jeremiah says he'll play on your Lakeshore team.
Jeremiah, can you shoot? If you're a shooter, if you can shoot and like know how to play, I might end up joining this team that's already like solid and already has like a group of guys where I'd just be added onto their team next season. Because the guys that left me, okay, so there's like 3 competitive, it's like an 8-team league. There's like 3 competitive teams. There's a couple other teams that are like kind of somewhat competitive, and then there's like a couple bottom feeders. But I was playing with these this group of guys, man, and they left and joined their own team. When I was playing with them, our rivals was this other team full of young kids, like young being like 18 to 22, good players. But my guys left me and then started talking trash to that other team, and that other team was like, okay, we might need to add Tori next season because these guys are talking a bunch of trash. Like if we don't beat them this season, we'll just have to add Tori. If I was on their team, we would run them in. So it's a lot of fun because there's like a lot of player movement. There's a lot like everybody knows each other because we all show up on Tuesday, Thursday. A lot of these guys played together in high school. A lot of these guys played at my high school after I played there, that type of thing. So it's a good league, man. As much as you hate on it, Eric, it's a.
I got a question. If you're such a good passer and teammate, how come all your teammates leave you all the time?
Because it would have been too unfair. No, 100%. We literally. There was one guy that went to WSU. Went to Washington State. He came back. There's a guy who went to work in Seattle for a bit, and he was coming back. They were both really, really good players. We won the championship without them. Won the semifinal game by 25, and then beat like the young guys I was just talking about that I might end up joining. I'm not sure. We beat those guys by like 15.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. So it would have been unfair. So I can't even blame them. You know, we won our ring. So we won our championship. So.
Here after winter, when the weather starts to get nicer, we start practicing for the 3-on-3 tourney.
It's not even really practicing. It's just playing some pickup ball and getting.
We'll tweet out some parks we go to if any of you guys want to come and play with us. We play with some guys who are all different skill levels and sizes, so it doesn't really matter how tall you are. We play with some very short players and all kinds of skill levels.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'd like to get some ballers, some real ringers up in there. Declan said I'd play. I haven't hooped in a couple years. 6'5" though. Lakeshore is expensive, man. And that's the thing is I don't even know what my team will be, so I don't even know if I'd add anybody. And I just need guys that are able to shoot, man, because I just don't like getting triple teamed whenever I drive anywhere and then kicking the ball out to guys that just don't make shots. It can get kind of frustrating. I just have inconsistent shooters right now. But Mellow Stay says, Tory locker room cancer confirmed. LOL Blazers Uprise Eric Brandt. Dude, I'm super competitive. And I try and explain that to people. People that know me are fine with me playing on their team. People that don't know me, I feel like are a little taken aback because I'm super competitive. I think you guys can tell. Like I hate losing. I absolutely hate losing. I am maybe the most competitive basketball player in that gym. Like I'm super competitive. And I'll admit that. I don't think I'm toxic, but I do get frustrated when it's like guys aren't hustling on defense when I'm busting my ass to try and lock up the other team's best player, and then this guy is not boxing out, watching the other guys grab a rebound, not playing hard, not hustling. I know it's just a rec league, but I'm competitive, and it's some competitive basketball, so that type of stuff like is frustrating for me, and sometimes I don't hold my tongue, but just as long as people play hard and play like somewhat smart, I'm completely fine. I'm just competitive, man. And the guys I got right now, it's a little rough. Randall Pink Floyd said Tory trades his guys for draft picks. Oh man. I
And
so
then you're the only one that
anti-Christ
shows up to the draft.
I so anti-Christ Tory. Yeah, I'm the only one who shows up. Tory's like LeBron shipping his teammates across the state at Eric.
Tory equals Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy
That's
Butler.
probably a good comparison.
I'm not though. That's
Hey, man.
an insult, man. I'm not
Jimmy Butler loves Tyler Hero right now.
I'm Chris. I don't want to be Chris Paul either. I don't know who I am. I'm just competitive, bro. And when people like, we lost today off a game-winning 3 because I locked up my guy who was the best player on the court, played good defense, made him pick up his dribble. This guy guarding the best shooter, maybe the best shooter in the entire league. Dude's an absolute sniper. He leaves him, comes 20 feet away from him to help double my guy after I made him pick up the ball like 18 feet away from the rim. So then he kicks it out to the shooter with 3 seconds left and he hits a 3. Like, my reaction to that was like, what the, like, I was pissed. It was ridiculous, that type of stuff. That's the type of stuff I get mad at.
You just admit that you're not the best shooter in the league?
I'm not the best shooter in that league.
Oh, nice.
What the hell are you trying to say, bro? I'm not, like, my shot's getting back to, like, how it used to be. Maybe 5 years ago I would have been the best shooter in that league.
It's just
even
weird.
5 years ago I wasn't.
I would expect you to say
certain.
like,
yeah, you're gonna overplay this. Yeah, I expect you to say you're the best at everything, every quality in that gym, the best looking, the best.
If you take me out of the equation, the next best shooter in the league will be this guy.
No, I'm not the best shooter in that league. I do think I'm the best player in that league.
Yeah.
I do think I'm the best player in that league. Some people would disagree, and that's fine. You know, I mean, like, there's enough good players that's like, if you think you're better than me, I expect a lot of these guys to probably think they're the best player in the league too, if that makes sense. I just think I'm the best player in the league because I don't know. I'm guard. I get triple teamed. Like, I'm guarded tough. Like, but I mean, like, there's a lot of guys that were like pretty much on my level though. So I'm not trying to act like I'm so great, you know. I'm not trying to be cocky or like overconfident or anything. I just think like I honestly do. I'm just being honest. Like, does my league write down stats? Yeah, we have stats at the end of every game: points, rebounds, assists.
What would you do if you passed to a guy who had a wide open layup and he did what Mario Tolliver did last game? Or what Mario?
I had that happen to me like a couple times today. It wasn't quite that bad, but like I had guys missing wide open layups. If I had a zone, you do that to me, man. That would be rough. If he was like making other mistakes on top of that, I'd probably be like, "What the hell?" I'd probably get on like, just go dunk the damn ball. Why are you trying to do a? I don't know.
Tor equals Mario Hazonia, says Leo.
I mean, in terms of like actual talent, yeah. In terms of my league, in reference to my league, I'm much better than Mario Hazonia. But in terms of actual talent, yes, I am Mario Hazonia. I'm completely kidding. Mario Hazonia is much, much, much better than me. There's a reason I'm not in the NBA. I don't want anybody to take me serious because I know I said that like I'm serious. A lot of times when I troll, I say things like I'm serious, and then I realize like I said that sounded way too serious.
But I mean, if he were like 6'8", 250 or whatever he is, like,
yeah, I mean, like if I was 6'9" and I like had, you know, then I would have ended up on AAU teams, had proper training growing up, that type of thing, and then yeah, I might have had a chance. If I was 7 foot, I think I'd be in the league. With my skill level, I think I'd be in the league if I was 7 foot. But I'm not 7 foot.
What's up, JC?
I am Jimmy Butler in terms of my competitiveness. I'm super competitive. Eric knows I'm super competitive too.
Yeah.
I like that about myself. A lot of people probably don't like that. I'm fine with that. I like that. I like being competitive. That's what makes it fun. Jimbo Slice said, "Dude, you average a double-double." I've gotten multiple triple-doubles, but I've actually done it in wins. I'm not Westbrook. How tall am I? I'm 6'4", 6'5". So, like, people say, "Oh, you still be in the league. You're tall." "Oh, you should be able to dunk so easy." That type of thing. I always hear that. I always hear people talking crap about my height. I was always that guy that wanted to be, like, skilled enough for, like, okay, I could do this without my height. Like, I'm Greg Ostertag. What an awesome last name. Eric would get pissed with my situation right now, though. If it was him on that team instead of me, you'd get frustrated, bro.
Maybe.
If you get in triple teamed and you're kicking out the guys wide open and they shoot 1 for 25, from the 3-point line.
I just go get the rebound and put it in.
Yeah, no, the guy I was playing against was like 6'4", 6'5", and athletic. Like, it wouldn't be like something where you could just go get the rebound. These guys are missing hard too.
Yeah.
Airballing here and there. Like, it wasn't like it wouldn't have been something where you could have just gotten all the rebounds. Like,
I've played on some pretty bad teams.
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
like,
mind.
the players aren't even bad. I just need like a number 2 and a number 3. It's like if you had I don't know. I don't know. It's just rough. It's just rough. But I'm super competitive, so it was nice that the Blazers got this blowout win because we lost 55-52. That's how you know it was bad. Our scores average in the 90s, and the score was 55-52. We defended well, but the team we were playing against is not good. It was like one of those bottom feeders, and we lost. So, but our second best player was playing on their team to make it more fair, which was stupid because he did well, and I don't know. It's a clown show.
Den Third says sounds like you have a Stotts level offensive system.
I mean, you know, when I have guys that don't really create for themselves and can't hit threes, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, like if Stotts was playing out there with put Dame out there with a bunch of Tollivers, God, I'm being too toxic. But like they're guys that can. The thing is, they can shoot. They can shoot. They just struggled tonight. So like when guys aren't making shots, they're not like super great at creating their own shot. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple guys that can kind of do it. We have a good big man. Who gobbles up boards and stuff. It's just like.
So you got good looks. You just need to make shots.
It's like saying you got good looks by having Mario Hezonja shoot.
You sound like
threes.
Stotts right now, man.
What do you mean? No, I mean like I wouldn't. Well, I mean like. I'm trying to get these guys to move better too, and move better off the ball and set screens. But you know, the NBA guys should know how to move off the ball, and they're practicing every day with you know, they're on an NBA team. They're practicing like crazy, that type of thing. When you're talking about rec league with the guys that don't really know like how to move off the ball 100% correctly, it's not really something that you can like. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's like hard to figure out. So yeah, a lot of times it ends up with me forcing some tough threes. But I'm kind of getting my shot back though. Been messing with my form.
And Randall Pink Floyd, I got that verticality down where I don't foul very much. So yeah.
Just drop it over him. You foul the hell out of me, man.
When?
Every time I drive.
Really.
Every time I set foot in the paint, you lay the hammer. You go Myers on me, and I end up bruised. I end up battered. I end up on the pavement.
Okay, there's a difference between physicality and fouling. Like if you want to come bang in the paint, you're gonna get bruised up a little bit.
I end
Yeah.
up with like scratches on my arms, like looks like I've been attacked by a damn cat. And then I go home and I take a bath, and it hurts. It stings because I got, you know, I'm just so
Cry yourself to
absolutely
sleep.
abused by this man Eric. It's rough, man. Yeah. Eric's a bully. He bullies me when we play basketball. So then I get scared. I start shooting threes, and I play like I'm a Portland Trailblazer. You do have verticality down well. Now you just gotta be able to get off the ground by getting
To actually jump.
Yeah.
I'm
I actually mean
pretty
that
good
because you
post
actually
defender.
had you know, your heel issue. You weren't really getting off the ground. I'm interested to see how much higher do you think your vertical is going to be after this surgery?
Bro, my peak vertical is probably like 28 inches. So
I mean, that's not terrible for a guy like you.
yeah, it's I can't.
So what was
I
your
can't.
vertical like before? Like when you were dealing with like your the bone spurs in your heel or whatever it was?
Like once I got out of my prime, it's been in probably the low 20s. I don't know. I don't measure my verticality
But
anymore.
like your heel and your Achilles was bothering you, right? Wasn't that keeping like your vert down a little bit?
Yeah, obviously if your Achilles it's preventing me from being able to jump and that quick twitch muscles and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I'm not in Tori's league. But yeah, I'm more of like an intellectual player. So I might not be the most athletic, but like I'm always in the right position, and I always know like when to jump versus when to like stay on the ground and stuff. But yeah, I've never been a high flyer or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I'd say. I'm just kind of interested to see what the difference is, you know. That's
Yeah, me
why
too.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see. You about to
It's
be
gonna
like
be weird.
standing dunk. I'm ready to see some standing dunks. I'm ready to see you
I probably have to lose about 50 pounds before that happens.
yeah. Yeah. Jason Jetson, I'm 6'5", 300 pounds. I can foul. The thing is in our league is call your own fouls. It's not a rec league with refs, so it's call your own fouls, which can get rough, but it's kind of like there's like a certain line. I don't know. There's no players that are really extra overly physical to try and take advantage of the fact that it is call your own fouls, except for one guy. There's this one guy in our rec league, man, and he's played college ball, and he can standing dunk, back scratch, like he's the most athletic person in the gym. He's 6'5", like strong. It seems like he has pretty long arms. He could probably like windmill dunk. Dude's just an absolute unit. Super athletic, super big, super strong. But this man, he's like decent with the ball too. He's like decently skilled. But this guy, he just absolutely tries to obliterate you every time he drives. He lowers his shoulder and like he's one of those guys that literally drives into and like throws his shoulder as hard as he can at you. And this guy's 6'5" and strong, so like it's a problem. And it's so annoying because the dude is like he doesn't have to throw his shoulder into you if he just like put his body into it a little bit and like hang and like extend the ball away from you and finish. Like he could easily like score going to the rim. Like he doesn't have to do it. But it doesn't matter if he's being guarded by a guy who's 50. This dude literally like I don't even know how to explain it, man. Like your sternum ends up sore after the game. Like he's one of those guys that tries to lower his shoulder, and it's like if it was an organized game, I literally just stand there, take the shoulder fall, automatic charge, easy as hell charge call, but we don't call. You know, I've never seen somebody call a charge because it's call your own foul. So it gets that gets really annoying.
Yeah.
But like, because it's frustrating too, because I feel like he wouldn't be able to drive on me. The only thing is, I get in front of him, and then he just rears up and just launches his shoulder into me. It's frustrating. I hate people that play like that. Especially, thing is, if you're like 5'7", 5'8", I get it. You're going up against a guy who's 7 inches taller than you. You gotta create space somehow. I get it. Well, you're 6'5" and ripped and athletic and can get up on your finishes and that type of thing. Why are you doing that, man? It's ridiculous. A lot of times he could easily just finish from like 3 feet over a guy who's like 50 and like 5 pounds shorter. And nope, he'll just launch his shoulder into them to get under the rim and then lay it up. It's ridiculous. Flop. Even on an old man, what a dirtbag. He's a chill guy. It's just like, dude just doesn't. I don't think the dude realizes what he's doing. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. It's so like I warn people before they play him for the first time. Watch out for the shoulders, and then like he's gotten into a bunch of drama. It's entertaining though. The drama's always entertaining. We had a guy throw the ball, Sean Bradley style, at a guy last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that went over well.
Yeah, it was entertaining. There's just no refs, so like the guys around the scoreboard has to try and like call that down. And it's always entertaining. Yeah. I know you've gotten into. Didn't you almost fight Michael Holton back in the day? We told that on our first podcast, but there's probably people in here that didn't watch that podcast. You almost fought Michael Holton.
Yeah, old man Michael Holton.
What? So what? Let's hear that story, man. Because I'm going off about stories. You're being quiet. I wanna hear this story again. Just for everybody out there who hasn't heard it.
He was just like, so I played directly, and he was on one of the teams, and that was Michael Holton, and like I played on a team where it was basically like me and a bunch of people who never really played basketball, just like friends and stuff. It was just kind of like for fun. But so I had to like try and take over sometimes. And I was hitting some like pull-up jumpers on him, and he started to get mad. It was like, "Oh, that was so lucky." Like, "Oh man, this is like," he was on a really good team, and like my team wasn't good at all, but we always did well because we played as a team and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this one time he started like having his elbow up a lot and getting a little close to the face sometimes. And then that combined with him talking a little bit, like I didn't really like that. And so there was a time where like the refs were heading down the court, and it was just him and I like behind the refs, and he kind of threw his elbow up like while we were running. And I didn't like that, so I got in his face, and like we pushed each other a little bit. I'm probably not telling the story very well. Anyways, yeah, so everyone loves Michael Holton, so I got thrown out of the game because I pushed him, and yeah, he got to stay in the game. It's bullshit,
that's
but
whack, man. That's whack. Stand up for yourself though. Even if the dude's a former
Right.
NBA player, like I'd be the same way. If I'm out there, I could be playing against Dame. If I'm on a court playing basketball, I don't care who it is. I'm trying to beat them. They can be an NBA player who I have no chance against. I'm still gonna bring that same level of competitiveness, and I'm still gonna play hard. Like I'm gonna be competitive. Like it's if I met Dame outside the court, I'd be starstruck. On the court, I'd be like, holy shit, that's Damian Lillard. But I'd also be like, that competitiveness doesn't go away. If it's somebody really good, I'd be even more competitive. Like I want to show out against somebody who's like a legit player. It can be college, it could be like a good high school player, it could be an NBA player. Like it doesn't matter. If somebody's like doing cheap stuff, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Michael Holton. I'd do the same thing as you do. Because that's the thing. Those type of people, I feel like guys like at that level, older guys who have played at that, level, NBA or high college ball, or like guys that do play at that level, they're kind of like almost entitled in a way.
right.
So they feel like, oh, I can do whatever I want out here. If somebody's annoying me, I'm gonna throw an elbow up. Like I don't give a, I don't care.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the attitude a lot of them have.
Well, I don't know if I've told this story on this air, but but like, so I played in a league. It was at Ballytola Fitness over in the like Beaverton area, and it was basically like a college level league, and Ime Udoka played in it one summer when it was the summer after he had played for the Knicks the season before, I think, and then the season after he played for the Blazers. And that dude was like 5 times better than anyone in that league, even though there were some pretty good players in that league. And he talked the most crap out of like anyone there. It's like, dude, you're playing a pickup game in like rec league in Oregon, and you're like talking mad shit. You play in the NBA, dude. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of hops though, the highlight of my rec league career was he tried to posterize me, and I pinned him. I pinned it on the glass, and he got so pissed off, and he like went at me the whole rest of the game because of that. And of course, I had to guard him because I'm like the only one close to his size or whatever. And yeah, he's freaking tough. I mean, he wasn't great in the NBA, but like guys like that can.
Oh yeah, even the worst players in the NBA are like amazing players.
Right, and they did keep stats in that league, and I think he averaged like close to 40 points a game and stuff. Like, yeah, he was always talking about like wanting to fight people and stuff.
He used to be kind of rough. Now he's like clean shaven and stuff. Guys in my rec league talk about like how he was in the past. I think they like used to play against him. You might have ended up playing against some guys in my rec league. But yeah, because they talk about Ime Udoka too, and that's kind of the picture I get. Is he was like he was super chippy. It didn't matter. It was a Portland area rec league. Dude went at it.
Yeah, so like Leo mentioned Luke Babbitt. Like if Luke Babbitt played in one of our rec leagues, he'd average like 50 a game. Like,
Oh yeah, Luke. Yeah, you kidding me? That dude would be pulling from 30 and absolute cash. Like, and he's 6'8". That's the thing people have to remember. They're like, oh, Luke Babbitt just a shooter. You know what I mean? Like, probably not that good. Dude's 6'8", right?
I mean, he
There's
used
not
to
a
have
6'8"
like,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not a 6'8" guy in my rec league. So you're talking about the biggest guy being the by far like best shooter and same player, and like he can probably handle the ball better than everybody. They're like, dude would dominate.
Well, like
Even
in
though he's a
college, he was like
horrible
a
NBA
point.
player.
He was like a point forward in college, and you know he gets to the NBA. He's like a role player, but like yeah, like that guy was like the man on every team he was at before he got in the NBA. You know, like
Yeah.
he knows how to play, and so
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was the man on a D1 college team. We're talking
Right.
about rec league. Like, yeah, it's. I'd love to play against somebody like that though. I kind of miss playing against higher caliber players.
yeah, it sucked when that particular Bally closed down because that had some really good players that played there.
Yeah. But we'll have to like vlog some of our pickup games, especially if we get some of the Uprise fan base out there to play some pickup ball. Have to do it, turn it into like a monthly video, just like some of the footage from that, just so
Yeah,
people
sure.
can see that I'm a. Never mind, I ain't gonna start this again. I was gonna say, just so people can see that I'm a better passer.
Hey, maybe you should post that footage of your game with Eric Milligan.
Oh my god, that was brutal. Hell no. Let's take footage of when I play you, because I'm absolute cash.
All right.
That stuff with Eric Milligan was me not taking it seriously because the dude's awful at basketball. I was trying to talk like he would beat me 1-on-1 because he's crazy, man. God. Now he's back on the floor. He had like a hiatus from the forum, man. Now he's back. If you guys don't know who we're talking about, he was an actor on Bones who like is a Blazer fan. Some of you guys probably remember the TV show called Bones. He played Zach Addy. It's kind of like a secondary character, but you know, had some lines, had some. You know, he was part of the show, and that was a show on Fox. Like, that's a very popular show. Yeah, I think he has like 100,000 Twitter followers. Never once looked at the dude as famous, ever. Like, I've met him multiple times in person. He challenged me, saying he could beat me 1-on-1. He's a horrible basketball player. I'm sorry to Eric, but like Eric just doesn't have it. But he was trying to talk about how he could beat me 1-on-1, and we turned it into this whole thing, and then we actually played few games, and it was the cringiest. It was the cringiest basketball you guys.
It was awful.
It was horrible, man. Because dude would just try and like back me down. I'm like, bro, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe I'll have to tweet it out. It was bad, bro.
But Torrey couldn't hit a shot either, so it was like really bad.
Yeah. Well, I just kept shooting. And
then he was
every
like,
time I went within
you
20
can
feet, this
shoot,
dude
huh?
would try and kill me. Like, he would literally try and murder me. Like, I'm not even... Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit with murder there, but, like, dude, like, I got hit in the face. I got hit... Just... My arms destroyed, but it was like he was small, 40-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, out of shape. Like, I'm not going to sit there complaining about getting hacked, but it was just like, okay, fine, I'm going to shoot. Wasn't hitting shots. So then I go inside and just get, like, basically punched in the face. And this guy's like a famous actor. He thinks he has more worldwide fame than CJ McCollum. He's kind of, he's an interesting person. Do I think I could beat Julian Newman in a 1v1? Probably not. I don't know.
He's 45 years old, by the way.
Eric is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It is just super, super cringe. But Julian Newman in 1v1, I don't know. I could post him up and get a 2-pointer almost every time, I feel like. I don't know. I don't really know how good that kid is. Dude just does a lot of extra stuff with the ball, but I don't know. He won't be a D1 player at all, so maybe I could. Trying to recreate an opening segment of Bones. Yeah, man, I got tons of basketball stories, man. There's the time I got suspended for a game in high school for the dumbest thing ever. Had the basketball managers in my room, and I think we were watching Lion King on TV. It was so stupid. It was like past curfew, and then our coach walked in. They tried to hide between the hotel beds, and he saw them, and I got literally suspended for the game the next day. And my team lost by 40. They had a future D1 player drop 40 on them. Then we played them in the playoffs. I played against them, held that future D1 player to like 1 for 6 shooting in the first 3 quarters or something, and we barely lost. I don't know. Yeah, I got more. I gotta think back of some of the
troublemaker.
Stories. What's that?
You're a troublemaker.
It was such a stupid thing. It wasn't even my idea. It was like my roommate's idea. But then he like fell asleep. He didn't get suspended because he was sleeping, and I ended up like staying up, like whatever. They came over. I ended up staying up, whatever, just like shooting the shit. I was the only one who got suspended because I was the one who was awake. It was so whack. Like, oh my god, we were just bored. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Anyway, stream's dying down.
Yeah,
you sound like you're getting tired.
It's been a rough week. I've been really sick the last week.
Have you? Gotcha. Yeah, you're being a little quieter than normal, so.
And I've had to work a little extra and stuff. And
yeah, I was gonna say you worked late tonight.
Oh, we close at 9, so.
How long do you normally stay there?
I can usually get out of there like 10, 15 minutes afterwards.
Oh. For some reason, I thought you were usually off earlier than that, like around like 6. I don't know.
Well, Sundays we close at 6, so I'm off earlier. But I've been closing a lot more than I used to lately.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, I'll let you get some rest then.
All right, we'll talk tomorrow.
I'm gonna catch you guys podcast tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about some more trade stuff tomorrow. We gotta get one of those first trade talk videos. Eric was waiting for his computer. So damn, you sound like you're dying.
Yeah.
Don't die on me.
Get rid of this cough.
That sounds rough, man. I'm usually pretty lucky. I don't really get sick like that. I feel bad for people that do, because every time I get sick, I'm so soft about it, because I'm not used to being sick. So every time I get sick, I act like I'm dying. Meanwhile, other people in my family get sick like once a month, and it's like nothing to them. I'm so soft about it. But no, Eric is not a smoker. Eric is no, he doesn't do that. Sounds like a smoker right now.
Yeah.
But no, he's not a smoker. So anyway, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Make sure to tune in for our podcast around 4 p.m. We'll bring some renewed energy. I'm a bit tired too. So we'll bring some energy for that podcast. We'll talk trades. We'll talk about some of the rumors, what we think about some of the rumors, because we didn't really get into like the actual like rumor of Kevin Love wanted to play into the Blazers. We just talked about some trade ideas. So we'll go into the actual rumor itself. We'll go into the Gallinari rumor, because I think that's a legitimate rumor. And we'll talk about like the market for those players. Some other teams that will be interested in them, some packages that other teams might offer, that type of thing. And we'll get a trade talk video coming up soon. I do need to make a mailbag too. So I'll try and get to that tomorrow. So I think that covers everything. I'll catch you guys later. Make sure to tune in at 4 for that podcast. And with that, signing off for me and Eric Brandt. This has been Tori. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Go Blazers.